And then we have the woodblock art cards, which I am not actually 100% sure where we can get them. Maybe you can help me in this, Dennis?
That's actually a good question. I presume they will be found only in collector boosters, but I might be wrong here, though.
Yeah.
Play boosters as well?
Well, who doesn't want that jumbo to attack for a 10,000 damage to your opponent and to fling them in their face into different ways, right?
I'll be honest, if I start drafting the set, which will happen eventually when I got more time, I'm really looking forward to slam first pick the Jumbo Cactuar and just build my deck with that strategy in mind and hope to one-shot my opponent at least once with that.
I've already had that pleasure in my limited games, and I gotta say it is the best feeling, just seeing that minus 10,000 appear on your opponent's face in Arena. It's a great feeling. Well, just an addition for collectors, because that's not all you can collect. You can also collect up to 15 different SID cards, a recurring character in in most of the Final Fantasy games, always with a different appearance, but always with the same name. And you can collect each fan favorite SID in your basic play boosters. In addition to that, there's actually some more options of various of the same card with different art styles, where you have your what's the card's name again? I believe it is the
Secret Rendezvous. Are you talking about that one?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah.
Secret Rendezvous, where you and a opponent draw 3 cards, all of them in a unique art style based on the date you would go on in Final Fantasy VII. So it's a great fun there. So with that, look at all the cards that you can collect out of the way. With the product a little bit better explained, hopefully, we can go into our review for our limited. So for our limited stream, we have a wonderful panel of guests joining Niels here on the couch. We have Philippa Carola, we have Martin Yuza, and we have Mythic Maria joining us in a moment and here in our community Final Fantasy stream. So thank you for joining us, and we will be leaving the couch in a moment as soon as we get the ping that they are ready. No, one moment. We are just getting everyone still in their seats. They will be here in just a moment.
Well, tell me about your favorite Final Fantasy XIV experience, then, Emma, since you love the game so much, and maybe also your favorite character of the game.
Sure. Well, I had a blast in 14. The Endwalker was my absolutely favorite expansion. Just I sobbed my eyes out in the last 8 hours of that game, which was just a great experience all around. And my favorite character there was, without a doubt, Emmet Selk. And I have an incredible soft spot for Xenos Galvus, which I will be building in my next commander deck. So,
maybe to chime in on this for the viewers, Emma has been raving about the new Emmet Cell card in the set as well. Coincidentally, Emma also plays Goryo's Vengeance in Modern, and I don't know for sure, but I think Emmet Cell might have a home in that deck too. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Emma.
I think so. Oh, I see that our wonderful panel of guests is ready. So, with that, I will throw the microphone over, or Thijs will throw the microphone over to Niels, and we will have everyone here on. Hello, wonderful panel.
Hello.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Oh, that's going to be a little bit of an issue because I cannot fully hear you.
I can also hear myself.
There
Same.
is a small technical issue that we are going to resolve right now here in the Fanfinity booth, which will be finished, I think, pretty soon.
So while we wait for the technicalities to start, I started breaking down this full scene, so we're gonna put those back.
You're too too excited, Des.
So what I was meaning to ask, Niels, how many drafts did you do already?
Oh, how many drafts? I think on Arena itself, I think 8 drafts would be something around the corner. I've been climbing up from bronze to diamond 1.
All right, so 8. Since when is the set released on Arena?
I think that's around last Wednesday, if I'm
Okay.
correct. Yes, so I've been doing quite some drafting, but I think that's the most fun thing about playing a new set, the excitement of trying out new decks and then going into new things and trying the new archetypes and see what fits, what doesn't fit, and I love doing that, experimenting.
Definitely true. I sadly I did not have the time yet to fully immerse myself in the Final Fantasy set. However, I did do a lot of drafts of the previous set of Tarkir. So I'm a bit sad that ended though, because I was on a really good streak and on that as well.
Oh, okay. And how much did you draft at, and where did you end?
Oh, that's a good question indeed. I think I ended somewhere in Diamond. I think rank 3 or 2. I don't really remember, but
Okay, that's pretty good.
let's say I did about 30 drafts as well. Yeah. I even I even went as far as doing some drafts in the car while traveling on my laptop.
Okay.
So I went really deep on that one as well.
And do you have a favorite card when it comes, or a favorite archetype when it comes to the Tarkir set then?
Well, Tarkir is actually really interesting in that scenario because the set started as 5-color soup decks
Oh,
and quickly evolved to just 2 decks that are really the best tier. The 5-color dragons deck, powered by what was the artifact? There's a 3-mana artifact that gives you mana. The dragon scale,
yeah, the Dragonstorm Globe.
Dragonstorm Globe. That's the one. Yeah,
Yes.
that got powered by that. So the 5-color decks playing that one.
Yes.
I really like drafting those. But also from time to time, when Boros was open, you can draft a super aggressive deck and just go over all the multicolored dragon decks. Not over, sorry.
Yeah.
Under.
For sure, especially because it has so much support as well. You can easily immobilize certain characters and very strong uncommons that are also in Boros. And with a little bit of a splash of red, you can easily go into Mardu to get that extra punch that you sometimes need in the end. I also enjoyed indeed going a little bit more into Sultai. It's more of I like Golgari, I like Sultai a little bit more. And especially in Tarkir, we had the 3 color combinations which were really supported in this set, especially with the monument, the 2-mana monument, where you could fetch one of the basic lands of that type and then get some extra benefits later inside the game.
These were so good to fix the set. Honestly, guys, we know this is a Final Fantasy stream, so we're diverting a little bit, but we'll soon be back to Final Fantasy. But talking about Tarkir, the mana fixing was among the best I've ever seen in years and years. You have the tri-lands, you have the dual lands, you have the mana. I forgot the monuments. I forgot.
Yeah, the
You
monuments,
have
yeah,
the
yeah,
monuments.
yeah.
So all those things combined together, they formed really smooth mana bases, which gave drafting Tarkir a really smooth experience.
Which still, it was a support for splashing a 3rd color, but those 2-color combinations were still strong in itself, I think. And I think Tarkir was a very quick set. Like you really had to go for your 1-drop. I remember if my opponent played a 0/3 blue mana, I can't come on the name.
The Dragonstorm Forecaster.
Exactly. Well, because she's talked about this Dragonstorm Globe, it goes into the same deck, right? So you play
Yes.
a turn 1, turn 2, you had something to do. You could instantly go search for your Dragon Globe while still having a 0/3 on the board. 0/3 on the board. And on turn 3, you already were ramping up, and well, the dragons were coming anyway at that
Definitely.
point. Yes. But yeah, Final Fantasy itself, to go back on this set.
To go back to Final
Yes,
Fantasy, indeed.
because we're here for the Final Fantasy.
Of course,
right.
yeah. So viewers, hang on a little bit. We are solving a few technical issues with the audio from our caster team. In the meantime, Niels and I will just keep talking about whatever fantasy or magic we like talking about.
Yeah, maybe I can speak a little bit about my pre-release experience.
Of course, go
well,
ahead.
It's a little bit already into the limited, but the pre-release that I did 3 pre-releases. 1, 2 had a giant where I went 2-2, and 2 where I just had a pre-release, a normal one, where I, humble brag, went 4-0 2 times. Yeah, and that was just an amazing experience because not only was I very excited about the cards, but the entire community was there. We had events of 52 players coming to a pre-release to enjoy that experience of coming back to their memories, playing the cards. I can remember when I was fighting my opponent with Ultimisha, and they felt just, even when it was a 7-7 menace, they felt the memory lane back.
Damn, that's insane. You know, the pre-releases, they start to feel more and more like the pinnacle events every season when a new set arrives. Like when I go to my LGS, my local game shop, and I know it's a Friday Night Magic pre-release evening, I can already expect the place to just be packed. Has that been your experience as well at your LGS?
Yes, exactly that experience. Having around, again, 52 people at your LGS is not something that is always as frequent, but I think with the hype of Final Fantasy, because a lot of people have been looking forward to Final Fantasy to be out. I remembered that I went to certain websites to see what the spoilers was on Twitter, for example, X, to see what cards that were released and what I could do with them in a limited experience or in standard. Just the deck building is just so much fun.
So I got an interesting question. Like, talking about the amount of drafts you already did, talk about the amount of pre-releases you already did. Do you have at this point in time like a clear best color combination or a clear best strategy in limited?
I don't want to spoil too much because I want our talents to have that point of glory as well, but I can go a little bit into it, I suppose. When it comes to me, I'm a little bit of a greedy drafter. I like to go to the end game quite a lot. I want to have the big 8/8 or the big bombs on the battlefield, and it's not always the best way to draft. Small disclaimer: I'm just a limited person that enjoys playing limited a lot. I'm not always as good.
I'm sorry to interrupt you here. Does that mean that in the Magic demographic, would you consider yourself as a Timmy? Or a Spike or a Johnny? You know the three ones?
No, I do not.
Okay, so for the people who don't know, there used to be preset demographics of Magic players within Magic the Gathering. Spike is the one that most people know. Spike is like the tournament player. But then we also have, I think it's Timmy. It could be Johnny too. It's one of each. It's the type of player that does exactly what Niels just said. Cast big fat creatures and do stuff with that.
That sounds like me then. Or get them back from the graveyard, which I also like to do. No, I enjoy that that strategy as well. But it sometimes depends on the mood. Sometimes I like to be a little bit mischievous, and I go for a blue strategy where I can just simply counterspell my opponent at any moment. Since there's a counterspell in the set, which I have cursed as many times as I have gotten victories with that.
Okay. Well, maybe I should chime in a little bit about my modern experience,
Yes,
but
please.
because ever since the set released, I've played a few FNMs and I played an RCQ as well. I actually did not encounter a new Final Fantasy card with every deck I encountered, but there are a few standouts.
Okay, please tell us more.
Well, for example, I did play against an Izzet Prowess player. Now you can take a wild guess about what card got included there.
Oh, of course, that would have been Vivi, of course.
No, it was Jumbo Cactuar.
Oh.
No, you're wrong. You're correct. You're correct. It's
you never know.
Vivionatir.
Also wrong colors. but-
So yes, I got to see Vivionatir in full action, and I can say the card is really busted. Like I didn't have at that point in the game the right removal to remove it from the board, so my opponent got to untap with VV,
Oh.
and I died that turn because they went like Mishra's Bauble, Preordain, then make some mana, Lava Darts.
Yeah.
If they play a Lava Dart, it gets triggered twice, and then if you activate it, you also get mana twice. But you only invested 1 mana. It's like a ritual that deals you 2 damage. No, more, 4 damage, because you count VV as effect as well.
Yes, and if we go into other formats as well, it's no surprise to a lot of people that Vivi also is a high pick when it comes to CDDH. Of course, when it comes to high power commander, if you can play cantrips on one and then you can keep on casting your spells, keep on storming off, you brain freeze your opponents. Of course, Vivi is an all-star player in that as well.
Definitely.
Maybe a good question: what did you play on your FNMs then? when it comes to modern. What kind of player are you? Are you the Timmy or the
That's a good question, actually. I used to be a Spike.
Spike?
Used to be, past tense. The last few years, I've been playing more casual, just doing the FNMs, just do also a local RCQ when I get the chance and I have the time. But I'm starting to enjoy more casual modern play.
Yeah, so every Friday evening you go to your local game store, you play a little bit of modern, you see what, for example, that's why I find new sets so exciting as well. People try to brew new things about characters they love or things that they speculate might be very strong. I think that's one of the most fun experience when it comes to Magic as well. That's why I love Limited so much when a new set comes out, because then you see all the fun decks. You see that there's so much more possible with other people than with one than you actually taught yourself, and it's so much fun to see people brew and it's mostly succeed, even if it's my opponent. I love to see when they brew something and it comes together.
That's the best thing you can do. So, the technical issues are slowly getting resolved, as
Okay,
we see here
great.
in our booths. So we should be ready any minute now, but in the meantime, until everything is sorted out and flattened, we can just go on talking.
All right, it seems that I will have earbuds to hear my lovely other people in the caster booths. So while I love having the communication with you, Taz, I think you will have your moment of glory later this evening.
I will leave you to it. Good luck, Niels.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me properly?
Hello.
I can.
Yes. 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 Hello.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I can hear you all as well, so I think that is already a good start. I'm gonna sit a little bit more here because that seems a little bit better. I hope you are all as excited as I am about the set as well. So I'm gonna give you a small moment as well. I think it says on the sheet that I should talk about my top comments, but I think I've spoken enough myself, so I will let someone else actually take the lead here.
So it seems like it is my turn. Those are my top comment picks, right? So hello, everyone. Starting with white. I picked white for it, so we're just jumping in here. First of all, it is probably the best in white. It's meant to triggers artifacts, actually like we call them, meaning like artifact entering the battlefield, they're resolving. So in my opinion, it's the best common in white. Also, do you hear me all right? Because I hear myself. I'm sorry to interrupt. Niels, do you hear me?
Philippa, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry, I can hear you. There's a little bit of echo. I'm very sorry for that. They are fixing it right now. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay, so
I think they fixed it.
the sound is fine, or I'm just blabbing away. All right, let's move on.
I didn't hear fully what you said before, so maybe let's go back. So everyone has been asked in their limited experience what their favorite top comments were in every color. So maybe let's go over those first, and let's start with white. The white 4-mana enchantment. It's a very interesting pick. Please tell us more about it.
So yeah, actually it is an artifact. And in this format, artifacts are very important. So we have the whole archetype dedicated to artifacts, which is glorious, but also like Boris interacts a lot with artifacts. So again, artifacts fall, as I call it, artifact entering the battlefield, triggering things like matters in the format. Also, it is excellent removal, premium removal, and it also ramps you out. So that's why I chose this.
They're so important as well.
I cannot hear Niels, unfortunately. I think there is some tech issues.
I'm sorry. Sorry for the inconvenience. They can't hear me. Ah, no, they can. Okay.
No. Now I can hear
I
you.
need to redo my question. I'm very sorry. Very sorry for the interruptions here. The longer the evening will go, the least we will have them, hopefully. Let's go back over the blue common. I think it's a very good one. Please tell us more.
So the track goods, either 3 mana creature, flying and it enters with a token 1/1. I believe it is 1. You know what? This one is not very synergetic with the rest of the set, but it's just so efficient. You know, it creates board presence. So you have 3 power, 2 creatures, and flyers are very important in this format. I feel like.
Okay, yeah. It's again, I think indeed for the 3 mana creature that gives an additional creature, very good. What are your experience with black during the set?
Black, as always, provides us with a very good removal, probably the best removal, as always. And here I picked Wing's Treachery. It's not only it serves you removal, it can also trigger some of your, I don't know, sacrifice effects if you need them. And you can use it as a combo trick. So all in all, you know, it just feels like a full package.
Exactly. It enables other strategies as well, which also is in white. I've seen also works with the jobs that you make. And I think -6/6/6 is just very significant in this set.
Exactly.
I
Instant
think
speed.
the red common is also very interesting.
So yeah, red I find very interesting in this set, in the sense that it feels like the weakest one. I don't know, maybe it's too early for me. It feels like a word color in the set. And Mysidian Elf with 3 mana creature 1/3. When it enters, it creates a token. Is the their token that takes your opponent when you cast off your spells. This feels like a defining card, maybe, for EZ as well as for Rakdos. And again, it just creates a board presence. And so, yeah, I feel like it's the best common in red.
I agree that the 3 toughness is also a very relevant thing in this set, because there's a lot of commons and uncommons that have 1 or 2 toughness, but 3 definitely is a breakpoint for a lot of things, and 2 creatures on the board definitely makes a difference.
Right.
And then you have as last a Chocobo Kick.
Yes, in green, we do have a lot of birds, and birds are chocolate cake. This is probably the best in green. Unfortunately, it is a sorcery effect, but the kicker ability here that you return land, or you may return land if you pass it with the kicker, makes such a big impact, because we have rule as a landfall aggro archetype, and triggering all those landfalls is very important. Sometimes you may run out of gas. You know, you do have a lot of payoffs for landfall, but you do not have lands like mid or late game, and it just solves the problem perfectly.
Yeah, that makes complete sense, and indeed, the extra land sometimes really makes a lot of difference. Maybe the most important question for me to you: what is your favorite color in this set?
This is interesting. I didn't have a chance to really delve into the format. I did participate in the early access tour event on Arena, which always feels like Christmas came early. I played in total 6 drafts, and I actually had the most success with Selenia and Cool. But on the king side, I feel like probably Selesnya and Thors are the easiest archetypes to build. And Here I am actually looking at the 17 lens data, which is the most accessible source of limited analytics on Magic Arena. And here, after a week in the format since the release, Izzet is actually the best performing archetype with 58.3% win rate. And if we were talking about three colors, it is surprisingly Sultai. So quite the opposite, actually, right? With 56% win rate.
Okay, those are promising numbers for the black-green players, or indeed the Dimir players, or the Sultai players in general. But we always see that the longer we go into Arena, that certain picks get taken earlier. But it's a very exciting thing to look forward to when we draft ourselves.
Sure, sure.
All right, let's go to our next talent here. Philippa, how have you experienced
Can you hear me
Limited
well?
so far?
I
Okay,
can
I
hear
think there's
a lot
a bit
of
of echo.
echo. Yeah, whenever anybody talks, there's a lot of echo. I can also hear myself when I talk. So I have no
Same.
idea what you guys are saying.
Apologies for all the echo.
Yeah, okay, I'll try to talk, but sorry for the echo. It's a bit confusing. Just because I don't know how you did it, Maria, honestly. Hearing yourself, I might as well take my headphones out and not hear myself. So if you want to interrupt me, just
Hard
let
to
me know. I'm just going to talk about my pre-release experience. I got the chance to get Vivi, so I was really lucky. I really love that card. It didn't go as well as expected because I feel like maybe I just didn't get, I mean, it's a sealed pool. I didn't get too many synergies around it. I do have to say that after playing a lot of sealed and some drafts, what has grown on me is green. I feel like green is a really strong, especially, for example, Golgari can be really good with green ramp plus some removal. I think that can be really strong. The summon cards have really impressed me. The 4/4 that makes a 2/2 and eventually gives trample to your big creatures is really good. And also summon Fenrir is really good as well, ramping you up and just drawing you cards, making your creatures bigger. I feel like that is a very good combination overall. In my top picks, I had to choose a lot of removal. I chose removal for all the colors except for blue. Blue is not exactly known for being the color with the best removal, so there we have the dragoons. I agree completely with Maria say, and I have to add that with the job select, it makes actually a lot of X1 creatures, and I feel like the 1/1 that the dragoons make, it's really good to block those job select creatures. And yeah, overall, I feel like removal is very strong this set. Ramping is really good. If you do happen to draft a very good Rakdos deck with the wizards that drain your opponent every time you cast non-creature spell, I think that also has a lot of potential. But I feel like the format is still shaping as we only have a week of Final Fantasy, so I'm excited to see what happens next.
For sure, yeah, and I see there's a lot of similarities when it comes to indeed the top commons, when it comes to the white, the blue, and the green. Again, the Chocobo Cake, because it can get a lot of bigger creatures, as you said before. You can get them. I have echo myself, so I'm gonna remove my earbud as well. Yeah, you have the big creatures that sometimes don't take any damage. For example, the diamond weapon. If we remove that with a Chocobo Kick, that can be happening. Again, the ramping of the white oversight is good, and the flying is, as always, when it comes to blue and white as well, always goes over your opponent's field and always does something. You went for the Sephiroth's intervention. Do you sometimes feel that that 4 mana is not a little bit too late during your limited draft?
I don't think Philippa realizes she's muted.
So it went from echo.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I was just saying how happy I was that I didn't hear echo, but after all, I was just muted. but we are good now. I have to say, Niels, that I do think like 4 mana is not too much, especially when you're gaining 2 life. Actually, 2 life can be relevant in this format. I had a lot of instances where this card was amazing, and I never had an instant where it was not good. Destroy a creature instant speed is always good, especially in a set like this one where there's a lot of bombs, there's a lot of late game, and just the fact that you gain some life in return and it's instant again, I feel like it's worth the 4 mana. That's for me one of the reasons why I picked it over other lower conditional removal spells. I'm always happy to have it. So for me, it's a card that I will almost always pick. And you can never have too much removal in limited, in my opinion.
I can only agree with that. And indeed, the 2 life is definitely relevant. I sometimes even when I draft when I draft 2 colors, I even put in the town that taps her colorless, but gives you 2 life, because indeed the 2 life can be relevant at the end of the game, as there's many games where we stand at 1 life, but 1 life is more than enough. Let's go to the next talent that will be talking about their limited experience, and that is Martin Jusa. Please tell me about what you have experienced so far. Oh, am I interrupting anything? Or?
No, all good.
No?
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
great.
going to do the same thing as Felipe. I'm just going to remove my headphones because otherwise I'm going to have no idea what's happening. So yeah, I didn't play that many drafts. I drafted a little bit. I like black quite a lot because black has great removal, and just an overall a big collection of very decent cards. I think green is probably my favorite color though, because green looks incredibly deep. There is a lot of fixing, so you can splash very easily. That's something I value very highly. There is also really good creatures. That's like a thing with green in general. For quite a while now, when you look at the green commons and you look at the best ones and you go down the list and you're looking at the worst green commons, you get like a 4-mana 4/4 that gains you 4 life and has reach or something, or like a naturalize with cycling that also kills a flyer, right? Like when those are the worst cards in a color, that means the color is really good. It's incredibly deep, and that means that the color is going to be doing really well. Also, if it enables you to flash, that's another bonus. So green black is one of my favorite archetypes because those all those things go together really well. You have good fixing, you have ramp, you have creatures. The green early creatures also work really well against the white aggressive creatures. The job select equipments that can give you 2/1s or 2/2s. If you play the green 1/3 mana guy, the 2 mana 1/3, then that kind of just stops all the white aggression for a couple of turns. So that's another thing I like about green. I also do like the aggressive decks. I do like Boros, for example. I think the format in general is fairly balanced, or at least in my experience, I haven't really drafted that much to form a firm opinion to be able to tell you, hey, this is 100% the best color combination or something along those lines. But I feel pretty confident, at least when I draft that the format seems relatively balanced, and that it doesn't really seem like there is just this one perfect archetype that you should be, thinking of maybe forcing at every draft. I don't think it's like that at all. So the color I like the least is blue, but that just comes from the fact that I like to play to the board. Blue has a lot of non-creature spells. That's kind of the theme of the blue, red, black. And I like to play to the board. I like to have a 2-drop on turn 2. I like to have a 3-drop on turn 3, put pressure on the opponent. That's just how I like to play limited. So I like blue the least, but that doesn't mean that it's the worst color or anything like that. It's just a personal preference. One thing I wanted to note is there is a lot of special guests. I lost to Eternal Ragavan. Last draft I did, I lost to a Lightning Bolt to the face. There's a lot of weird cards that you don't expect to be facing in limited that your opponents sometimes have. So excuse me, that is a fun twist in the format, because also I think the special guests appear a lot more frequently than they have been in the past. I think it's 1 in every 3 packs of a special guest or something along those lines. As far as top commons go, I did have the white aura sight as well, but in general, I prefer a lot of the white cheap cards. I'm not a huge fan of the Fate of the Sun Christ. the 5 mana removal that you can play for 3 mana at instant speed if it targets a tapped creature, just because I like to be proactive with white, and 5 mana is quite a lot. In blue, I like the Wyvern, the Dragoons one that we see on the screen a lot as well, just because you get a 2/1, you have a 2-power flyer. What's not to like? In black, obviously, you have the 4 mana intervention that gets rid of any creature. I like the treachery as well, -2/2 with kicker, and I in every color, I like the land cyclers. I think the land cyclers make for better limited experience because it means you're less likely to get screwed. And in general, I like that. Recently, we've had a lot of draft sets, or a lot of sets where you have to prioritize or figure out how highly you want to prioritize fixing, how highly you want to prioritize cycling cards, to make sure you don't get screwed. How highly do you take something like a land that gets cycled, which means that that's not a card that you sort of count into 23 non-lands because it goes to your mana base. So you have to prioritize these cards, even though they're not gonna sort of make your deck, because you still need 23 playables to have enough cards to cast for your lands. I think that's also cool that it teaches people how to evaluate cards and everything like that. When it comes to red, Thunder Magic, obviously great. I think one of the best removal spells. Supplex as well, which originally I thought was an instant. So the first draft I did, I was holding that as an instant to kill my opponent, to exile my opponent's equipment, and I realized I couldn't do it, and it just lost me the game. So be careful. Make sure to read the cards before you play with them. I like the red Summon G Freed, the 3-mana 3/2. It's a saga. It only lasts for 4 turns, but the first 2 chapters you discard a card and draw a card, and I think these types of cards are really important in the aggressive decks. If you play something like Boros, flooding out means you're not going to have enough gas in the late game to push the last couple points of damage. So having cards that help you get rid of extra lands and help you get more gas, at least for me, are super valuable. When it comes to green, I think all of the commons are really good. I'm not sure if I have a specifically top one just in general. It very much also depends on what archetype you're drafting. Like if you're drafting, green black, you want to prioritize the cards that fill your graveyard, right? So you want to get the 2-mana 1/1 that when it comes to play, you mill 4 cards, you can return a land to your hand. That card sort of already, if you're drafting green black, just shoots up in value, right? We can look at the spoiler with other green cards. Chocobo's Kick, obviously, removal spells. I like to take them highly as well because you do need removal to do well in a draft. The cyclers, the green forest cycler, 6-mana 6/6 trample. When it comes to play, you gain 3 life. Great card. Something I've been also enjoying doing is, and I need to find the name of the card, is the land cyclers work really well with Evil Reawakened. It's the black 5-mana card that returns any creature from your graveyard back into play, and it puts 2 counters on it. So you can just cycle the green 6/6 on turn 2, then do something for 2 turns and bring it back as an 8/8, which sort of sometimes can give you a free win. So I like to look for those little combos and synergies. Other than that, green black self mill has been working for me quite a bit. It feels like there's just enough cards to self mill yourself or mill yourself with. Plus, at least for me, they have been going around the table quite a bit. Like the black 3/2/3, those 3 cards. It feels like there's enough. Other than that, what I wanted to mention is don't forget that a lot of these creatures in the set are legends. I have had that happen that I played, another one of the creatures I already had in play, didn't realize it was a legend, so it died. Make sure you avoid that. That is an easy way to lose, unless you play on Arena. That does remind you, I think. One more thing, try to look for little tricks, like, with Chocobo's Kick, for example. Let's say you have six lands in play and you have Chocobo's Kick and a 5-drop, right? You can play the Kick with Kicker to the land, and because you have not made a land drop yet, you can play it as sort of your second turn, and you can cast both the 2-mana spell and the 5-mana spell, even though you only had six lands in play. Who else is making some notes? My favorite archetype, green black, already mentioned that. Yeah, I feel like there's just enough fixing, just enough ramp, just enough big guys to finish the games with. Make sure you do have enough top end, because otherwise what can happen is that you're going to play some lands, you're going to play some 2-mana 1/1s that mill for it, bring the land back. You're going to play some of the 2-mana 1/3 mana, and all of a sudden you can end up with a 22 land back sort of. So make sure you have enough ways to finish the game. There's black common for 3 that returns the creatures from the graveyard. That's in the mill deck because it gives you more gas in the game. And yeah, other than that, I wanted to shout out our CAB team, or TCG player rather. So right now, if you type channelfireball.com in your browser, it's going to take you to TCG player. So all the set reviews you can find there. Reed and Louis were doing set reviews for this set last week. I'll keep in mind that all those grades were done before the set released, so that was when the spoiler comes out. So, yeah, make sure you check that out. Obviously, it's not going to be 100% correct because every set is different. And it's hard to get everything right before you even get a chance to play with the cards. But we do have a lot of cool analysis about the set there, and also obviously shout out to my Ultimate Guard teammates and Ultimate Guard people that to sponsor not only our team, but also the RC series and just Magic content creators and
Okay, great. Thank you for all the explanation. It's a lot of information to take in. It is definitely an eye opener. I think I think we all picked around to the same comments. So it means that we're all quite aligned, that it goes a lot more to the end game, that you need your late game quite importantly, and that having the board presence of the Wyverns, for example, goes well. Removal is like in every set very important, but I think in this set having the removal for the late game is even more important than anything else. And especially on that Chocobo kick, I think indeed just having that kicker, normally it's not a benefit but a negative thing, but in this case for green it definitely is more of a positive thing. Now we also planned a pick one, sorry, that I wanted to actually discuss with you all. So if we go towards the next slide, I would like you to examine the first pack that you get in this very high-end tournament limited environment, and you have to take your first pick. Yes, what would be, let's go from right to left, what would be your first pick, Martin?
I can't really see the cards.
Same.
Oh, the cards are a little bit too small?
Yeah, I mean, on the screen, we're just looking at, very tiny cards. So
I can't recognize the rare, actually. The rest?
Yeah.
Is this better?
I mean, now, yeah, it's better. Okay.
Yeah, indeed. You don't see all the text of the cards, but I'm pretty sure that you already know by the art what the cards do.
I was just gonna say that it's way too early in the format for me to know all the cards by pictures. So unfortunately, I don't. I know the green 2/2 gives you mana. I mean, that's a great card. The 4/5 Saga is pretty good as well. Is that Cryptic Command or what is the triple card? Oh, if it's Cryptic Command, I would just take Cryptic Command. Yeah.
But it's triple blue.
If that's Cryptic, that's an easy pick for me.
For me, I think I would choose the red removal, or I would actually choose Minwu. The Minwu is actually pretty strong. There's this job select that every time you attack gains you life, so it works pretty well with this creature. And this creature gets pretty crazy. I've lost against it on the pre-release, and I was like, this creature is insane. It just grows to be so big. It keeps attacking, getting bigger every time, and it works really good with this job select card. But besides that, maybe Togal, the 2/2, is really good, because if you don't even have to have humans for it to be good, it's just like a nice little ram card, and sometimes you have the upside to get +1/+1 on some humans. So actually, I think I would go for the green uncommon, just because I feel like green is really good in this set.
All right. It's my turn, I guess. So the rare for me is
Yeah,
very
it's your turn.
underwhelming because it's a 5 mana 3/3. Yes, it has to do with lifelink. But unfortunately, there are not enough good payoffs for life gain in the set. I would hope that there would be like maybe a hidden separate archetype just based on life gain, but there's not. So Cryptic Command is very tempting, but my concern is triple blue, which is not optimal for limited, but Cryptic Command, yeah, I know that. It is very nostalgic, of course. So my first pick would be Togo, because now here in this pack, we can only see two green cards. So it would signal probably that later on we can cut green, or, and overall, it's just a perfect two drop. It fixes you, and green. I agree with Marianne. With Philip, it feels like one of the deepest colors in the set.
Okay, yeah, I give my 2 cents for this. I agree. I think I would also go for the wolf for a simple reason. The ramping is important. It is fixing. It's a 2/2 on the board. It's a bear with upside. The jobs that we make, they get +1/+1 counters. I think it just has so much upside. I think his second interesting pick would indeed be the Wyvern, because there's so much blue that some of the cards might even, well, somehow maybe the Cryptic Command will wield, and then I would be very happy to take that when it comes back to me, and then hopefully by then I will have got a good basis with counter spells and syncopates that I can make my opponent's life a little bit tougher than anything else. But I think when it comes for a strategic point of view, that the wolf indeed, the ramp, the fixing, the 2/2 on board is definitely a good choice. I want to thank you all for all your experience. I want to thank you, Martin, for just giving your very detailed idea of the set right now. Next time we talk, maybe you will know every art by heart and every name of it as well, but we shall see. Suplex, what a good card. I love it. It was actually in my top comments because I think it just, it does so much. But enough about me. Let's go towards the next part of the community stream, where we are going to talk about standards and all the archetypes that are brewing. We are going to do that with the two lovely ladies who will stay here to indeed go over more of that set. Martin, we're going to say sadly goodbye to you for now, but I am sure that we'll see you enough in the future. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And I will also leave the bench here, and I'm gonna give over. I'm going to give over the microphone to the lovely host Emma, who will introduce the other caster and talent as well. Thank you very much for your time.
Hello everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around with us. I hope you had a great time with Niels and our wonderful team in Limited. So now we are going to take a look at Standard, and to do that we are sticking around with Maria and we are sticking around with Philippa. We are being joined by Kai, Solaris. All right. Are you here, Kai? Not yet, not yet. Well, no worries. He'll be here any moment now. So, thank you so much for your insights in Limited, Philippa and Maria. I hope you had a great time. Oh, I hear that Kai is here now. Wonderful. Hi, Kai. Hello. How are you doing?
We cannot hear it.
We still have some audio issues with Kai. We are looking to resolve that. One moment, please. We'll be with you in a second.
The rule to enter the stream is that you have to have audio issues. Otherwise, you cannot enter.
Of course, of course.
You have summon sickness.
Our team is checking out now what the problems are. Oh, It's looking like it might be an issue with your input there, Kai. Could you take a look? Meanwhile, we can take a look at some of the current standard metagame. Philippa and Maria, is there a certain color that you currently associate with current standard?
Of course.
2 colors, blue, red.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Absolutely.
well, it feels
Those are the top decks.
dominated, but is it? But that being said, I still feel like standard is very diverse. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
It feels extremely diverse. You have a lot of options to play, but still, it does feel like the top decks in tournaments dominating are red, blue, and mono red, right? Those are the 2 decks that are keeping like punishing the decks that do not respect them enough. And you,
Yeah, that's true. But like tournament metagame versus arena metagame or Magic Online metagame, like 2 different stories. Because when you prepare for a tournament, let's say you pick this Izzet or mono red. As an aggro deck, of course, you can just have crazy draws and win very fast. Also, it is another bonus that your games are pretty quick. So it's either you win or lose it. Usually it is pretty fast. So I feel like this powerful aggro decks, they're always a good choice for a tournament. But on arena, the game is pretty diverse, I would say. Still, also, as we've seen in Bologna, yes, of course, the prowess of the tournament, but we've seen some data analytics and we know that it's not the best deck per se. It's just got Oculus is a very powerful contender and it has good matchup versus is prowess Forge of Southbounds as well. So, you know, it's like paper, scissors, rock kind of thing. So there is not a single best deck, I would say, in standard, just overall.
Emma, I
it
can
feels
give
like
my
standard is incredibly fast, right? You have your mono red and your Izzet, but in addition to that, you also have the combo deck in Omniscience, and then with Abuelo's Return, just returning that Omniscience from the graveyard and comboing off, which is also incredibly powerful. It is resilient because it bounces graveyard hate, it protects itself because it's in the colors blue, and it is just so incredibly quick. It can win the game on turn 4. It's incredibly powerful. You need to respect that as well, and that in combination with the Izzet, with mono red, makes for a very, very fast metagame.
Indeed. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
Yes,
Phew.
yes, we can.
Sorry for this. There was a technical issue on my part with my mic, but now it's all working. Okay. Perfect.
Hello, Kai. Welcome. So
Hello.
happy to have you with us.
Happy to be here. I was playing a little bit of limited,
Can I
but
ask?
then I lost every single game, and now I'm pretty happy to talk about standard and constructed right now. So that's very, very good.
So what are you playing now in standard these days?
I think I would tend to Izzet Prowess. I played Izzet Prowess in the last RC. It didn't went super well, but I still think that it's the best in the format. I mean, you talked already about mono red aggro as Aurus Omniscience, but if you just configure the Prowess deck correctly, I would assume that you could have a great matchup against both of those top contenders, which make Izzet Prowess for me an easy choice. Also, I like to play tempo decks, so easy.
Have you also seen that Gruul aggro deck these days? Like, The deck
The
that
Chorister
absolutely,
category?
thrives on, what's it called again? You need like threshold, not threshold, you need 4 different card types in your graveyard.
Oh, Delirium.
And then it activates your fear of missing out.
That is very explosive as well. You were talking about the explosiveness of standard, and the Gru Delirium is maybe the fastest deck in the format if it has a nut draw. Because it's starting on Patchwork Beast, into Fear, into Delirium on turn 3, and then there's the combat trick that gives +1/+0 and double strike or something. This is insane, but but I would assume it's like a little bit more inconsistent than the other top decks.
I see. There are also several Final Fantasy cards making their way into the metagame right now. People are trying out new cards, they're exploring, and some of these strongest cards are getting added to the strongest decks. If we can take a look at our top 5 cards that we have selected to take a look at here today. So here we see the current metagame, the strongest decks, and in our next slide you'll have then the cards, and one of the top new cards of the moment, Vivi. Vivi's making their way into Standard, into Modern. We see some decks trying Vivi out in Legacy, so it's an incredibly powerful card. Anyone any specific thoughts on Vivi for Standard? Any Bruce?
Bruce, not really. I tried to implement in like an Izzet shell, like a usual Izzet cutter shell, and it worked very well. I mean, you're playing a lot of cheap cantrips like Sleight of Hand, Opt. I mean, consider it's not legal right now, but a lot of Monstrous Rage even, which can boost its power. So the mana ability is way more powerful. And even though you're only playing like a very low curve in this Izzet deck, you have cards like Stock Up, for example, which really, you can really use the mana Vivi generates for you. And so I tried it in the Izzet cutter shell and it worked very well. But I would assume that the power level is high enough that it will fit into other decks as well.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely can create a new deck, probably maybe some sort of combo deck with Exile Cauldron, or I don't know, it just feels like there is so much potential, the ceiling is so high, but the most obvious choice is probably to implement it into Izzet Prowess for now, and then, of course, I guess we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, I have to say about Vivi that I'm glad that Izzet got a new puppy, because either Izzet was not being played at all in Standard, so now there's something fun to play with. I'm joking, but obviously Vivi is a fun card. I think it's going to obviously make its way out of Standard. It's one of the obvious cards in Final Fantasy to make it, but actually I feel like where Final Fantasy shines in Standard is in non-competitive Standard, best of one Standard. I know a lot of people don't play best of one, but there's a lot of fun new combos in Standard because of Final Fantasy with Jumbo Cactuar, Arden. Those cards are amazing. But yeah, I'm excited to see as well Vivi into Standard and to see what Final Fantasy does it, especially after rotation, since I feel like after rotation we will see a lot of cards that right now are not being played because the meta is so strong and there's no slots for those cards. And I think we're going to have a bit of a refresh in the fall.
Good argument, yeah.
Absolutely. With rotation coming up very soon after the summer, we will see that the current deep metagame shrinks down to the sets of the last 2 years, and it will just be less powerful, but will that really hit Izzet Prowess all that much? Because I think most of the cards are rather new, right? Or is something important leaving?
I mean, Sleight of Hand is probably leaving, right? It's from Wise of Federation. No, wait. What does rotate out?
I'm not sure what it rotates out, but I do think that Wizards said that they were not rebalancing the format, I think, right now, but they might consider once we have a rotation. So let's see what happens, because I feel like if the top decks continue to be the top decks. We might have a shakeup in the meta. I don't know, of course, I cannot talk for what Wizards will do, but I feel like inevitably we might have a shaking standard.
So, for example, Opt will be leaving the metagame, which will be a blow to Izzet, as it is one of their premier cantrips. It is the card that finds you your gas, that keeps you going. It is incredibly powerful, and they'll have to do without it.
That's true. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Opt is leaving. Opt is very important. But other than that, most of the... I mean,
I have to be
Shivan
honest
Reef is
here,
also
I am
rotating.
not an aggro player.
Okay, sorry. Continue.
Oh, no. So what no. I wanted to say that I'm personally not an aggro player, not an Izzet player. So when I watched Vivi, I was like, I think this card might be overrated. But I've seen it get some great results already in various different formats already. And I think that I probably was wrong in thinking that this card was overrated. I think I severely underestimated how strong it is, and it might be just a 4-of in a lot of decks.
But if we're being honest, it costs 3 mana, which is a lot for the current Steel Cutter list. Maybe if you really optimize it, Vivi doesn't have a home there, or you just build a bigger Izzet deck. That's not like the same as playing only 1 mana cantrips, Opt, as you already said. So we're just going a little bit bigger with Izzet, because usually you only play Swift Spear, Dragecatcher, Slickshot, and Cory's Steel Cutter, and maybe 3 mana spells are too expensive for the list. Most of the decks are playing 21 lands, which is also an issue. So it could be that Vivi is too expensive for the current build.
Yeah, post rotation, I agree.
I can see that.
So that's why I'm thinking about the sort of combo deck.
That's true, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our next card from the set that you have pitched, which is the Astrologians
Planisphere.
Planisphere. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, it's basically this.
So who's a believer in this card?
I'm not really sure if I'm a believer, but it looks pretty good, right? You make a Vivi out of every card you play, out of every creature you play. It goes to the same shell as Vivi goes, playing a lot of 1 mana cantrips, growing your creatures. Equipped for 2 is pretty cheap. And I mean, I already saw its potential in Limited, so why not just build around it and make a great constructed deck around it?
To be honest, I feel like Astrologians Planisphere is actually a better fit for Izzet Prowess than Vivi.
Yeah.
Because it is a non-trigger spell, so it triggers all of the prowess, creates token, and again, it is a perfect payoff for all those non-creature spells. So basically, itself, this card, it has so-called prowess of sorts, right? Because it puts counters on the token. So I feel like this definitely will make home in Izzet Prowess. At least post-rotation, maybe even now. I've seen some actually results on Magic Online with these cards already. Probably like the most recent Magic Online Standard Challenge. It was in top 8, featuring this card, Izzet Prowess. So already, we do see great results, and it means that Izzet Prowess. It will just eventually just cut all of the creatures basically and just put all the spells, and it's the perfect card for that.
Philippa, do you think it will actually find a place after rotation in Izzet Prowess as well, or is it going to find a home in a new build? Maybe something Simic? I personally more a fan of that type of decks than the
Maybe
the
Simic
hyper
Cookie deck.
aggro
I could
ones.
imagine it being played. It might be really good in Simi Cookie. Sorry, guys, I took off the headphones, so I'm not going to hear you for a while. Just wave at me if I'm talking too much. But yeah, definitely in the Simi Cookie deck, I think it will find a home. It seems very promising. It's one of those cards that you kind of have to test it to see how it actually plays. It can be really good or not good enough. For Is It Prowess, my thing is that, as we talked, I think only Swiss Spear is rotating, so there's not a lot of things rotating from these decks. So what slots really do you have? You already have a 2-mana artifact that is not doing much when it enters, and he wants to get the momentum, which is the Core Steel Cutter, which is effectively just better than this card. So it's kind of tricky just to find a spot to put this card in, just because the deck is just so solid already. Otherwise, definitely this card would have standard potential. But again, I really am curious to see after rotation what's going to happen, if we are going to have any changes in the format, and to see cards like this, maybe not in Izzet immediately, but maybe in something like a Semi-Cookie deck, I can see it be pretty good.
All right, let's take a look at our next card then from our standard top deck. We see here Ultima, a card that is potentially an answer to all artifact strategies, like we saw the Astrologian's new toy, like we see in the Steel Cutter, removing all creatures and all artifacts from the battlefield.
I think it's a great fit for every control strategy because it's a sweeper that also removes all the die abilities. Because of the end of turn clause, just for example, if you have some kind of blood artist or something that says when this creature dies, deal 1 damage or get a token or just get something back, you just say no, nothing happens, we remove all creatures and all artifacts. You have to pay 5 for it, which is expensive, but I thought a lot of standard blue-white control is just playing Ultima as their sweeper of choice right now because then nothing can happen. No weird ability happens or something, and you can pay 5. We talked about the speed of the format, but with blue-white control, you have, like, for example, temporary lockdown, which just removes the early stuff, and for the late game, you just play Ultima. So I think it's a very good sweeper for the current standard format.
Yeah, I think this will sort of replace Sunfall post-rotation for sure. As for now, I don't know, but the fact that it destroys all artifacts, we will balance out this Is It Prowess majority presence. But yeah, definitely playable card.
I can see this card being played in an Orzhov sacrifice build where you play a lot of creatures, as Kai said, with the Blood Artist, and then there's the new Sephiroth as well that can really go well in a strategy with sacrifice. Then you can run something like Raise the Past maybe, so you don't mind destroying all your creatures because you're getting a bunch of them back. So I feel like maybe an Orzhov sacrifice build can have some potential. It's already played, like, not tier 1, but maybe tier 2 or 3, and I feel like it can definitely Ultima be a good inclusion there.
Yeah, I see it as a very strong inclusion into like Azorius control strategies right now. And after rotation, there's more strategies that open up. We'll have to see what the new meta then holds. Let's go over to our next card then, which is the incredible Yuna. So this Yuna actually brings back enchantment cards from the battlefield, and she is a great add-on to the Zur deck in the current metagame.
Yeah, I do agree
Okay,
with
any
that.
experience with those decks right now?
Yeah, I love Zur. I think the Overlord deck is really powerful. Now, I'm not sure, is actually Zur rotating now, though? Or Leyline Binding? So I feel like those cards,
think
kind of
so.
like
I think
Leyline
so.
Binding, Zur, then they won't make Yuna so good, but still there's some potential there, I think.
I mean, since it brings back enchantment.
Right. Do you have experience with the Overlords before? I think that you already definitely faced those decks with your Izzet build, right?
Yeah, Overlord. I played with and against overlords a lot. I think it would be a good fit
Does
there.
anyone hear Kai at the moment? Because I cannot. Oh, wait, it is my
Yes.
audio again. No worries.
Okay. Okay, not me.
Apologies.
No worries, no worries. Yeah, I think it's a good addition to this, but I would say that after rotation, as you said, Zur rotates out in Leyline Binding, but I think it just says enchantments. So you could no enchantment. It brings enchantments back, so you can also bring Omniscient back. So
No,
maybe
enchantment
there's
creatures. Or does it?
It
yeah,
brings
any
target
enchantment.
any enchantment. So it gives enchantment creatures the abilities, but it brings back any enchantment. So maybe it will fit in an omniscience deck as well. So to get more redundance, when you just you only have like Abuelo's Awakening now, but you get Yuna as well. You can probably, if you play green, you can ramp to get it earlier than other spells. So Yuna could also fit in the Omniscience shell if you just put green in it as well.
Interesting, interesting. I'd love to see a build like that.
So my opinion on Yuna actually that it's not a good fit for any existing deck, but maybe for some new deck like Absent Rainwater, because already we do have a lot of insane enchantments in the format. Those overlords, Overlord of the Baelmerk, Overlord of the Mistborn. Just the fact that you don't have to wait another turn, so the effect resolves on the same turn is very powerful. We do have Land of Elves, so we may cast, turn 4, so because 5 mana currently for standard is quite a lot, but I'm thinking that with the help of some ramping out, maybe removal early game, and just self-mill, bringing back all those enchantments is very powerful and has potential, in my opinion.
Okay, let's take a look at the next card in our top 5. And it's more of a collection of cards, as it is just all the Chocobos from the current Final Fantasy set. Put them together, and you just apparently get a great deck. Saffron Olive recently put out a video, a Much Brew video, with all the Chocobos, and it just looks so much fun to play. So I cannot wait to spend all my wild cards to get this Chocobo deck. Anyone have any experience with it, or have you built it yourself? Have you faced it?
I faced it in the early access event. It seemed kind of wild, but again, the early access event is a bit more casual. People are experienced in new cards, so you don't really go against the real meta that you would see. I think I looked at the top lists on MTG Goldfish that did well this weekend. I don't think I saw birds, but I might be wrong. It did seem like quite powerful synergy. But again, like the meta is just so strong in standard right now that even something like these that in the past would have been one of the best decks of the format right now cannot quite make it. Maybe after rotation we'll see some bird synergy be very good. But with Mockingbird in a Simic shell, I can see this being fantastic.
So Slick Shot is a bird.
Oh, nice.
Not a Chocobo, but hey, I mean, it's a bird, right?
Sold.
So you can play Slick Shot Show Off from the top of your library if
Absolutely.
you're traveling Chocobo in play, right? Nice. Okay, that is perfect.
It may be
Red,
actually
green birds.
very impressive.
I would assume that SARS
And you get some
Chocobo and
attack
Traveling
triggers as
Chocobo
well.
are the... Oh, yeah, right. I would assume that the SARS Chocobo and Traveling Chocobo are the best ones of those. So if we get more bird support, maybe there's something. We have some tribal support. We have like the Cavern of Souls and the 3-tree city, even though that's not seeded, didn't see a lot of play until now. But maybe after rotation, as Felipa said, and we get some more bird support, why not?
I just wanted to say that, as you said, the two most powerful birds might not be ideal just in a bird deck, but think about a landfall deck, because we have the 1-mana Chocobo being already a landfall kind of card, and then you have the Traveling Chocobo that actually says if a land or bird you control entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability, it an additional time. So it doesn't have to be a bird, it can be from a land. So this can be quite powerful just as 2 cards in a landfall kind of synergy.
Sure. I would play the birds. Hopefully no one plays
love to see
lightning
it.
bolt then.
All right, let's take a look at our next slide. What else we have? Well, we got some new results as a top deck where we do see that Is It Prowess won this weekend. I believe it was the Standard Challenge, and MTGO, and Vivi was definitely a role player in this deck.
Yeah, this looks like a usual Is It shell, except that it's like a little bit bigger because we're playing this sound and big enough, and Thundertrap Trainer, which makes a lot of sense because with the mana from Vivi, you can actually go a little bit bigger and still get some value out of those 2 or 6 mana creatures and spells. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think the big question with this deck is not like if Vivi will play, but how many Vivis, because Vivi is a legendary creature, so you don't want to have multiple of, and you have so many 1-mana spells that are going to try to see your deck. You have stock up as well, so you have so many ways to try to find that Vivi that maybe playing 3 or 4 might be too much. So I think it's like finding the balance on exactly how many Vivi I want to play with in my Izzet deck.
Yeah, I agree. And also, there are 2 types of Izzet Prowess decks, like more aggressive and like this version is more control or mid-range compared to the monster range Izzet Prowess, right? So yeah, I think it's totally valid, and I agree with Philip. It's just the matter of how many Vivas you want to play.
I think maybe 2.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here, Maria and Philippa. Philippa, if where can people find you as we sign off?
So people can find me on my YouTube channel. I think that's where I put more content these days. I have a standard channel. It's Philip Carola, Philip MTG. You can find me there. I'm always doing fun kind of brews. Lately, I've been doing a lot of Arden and Jumbo Cactuar combos. I had one with Kaya where you make a token, a giant Cactuar in the air. I had one just with Arden and getting the Cactuar back from the graveyard. So, you know, just some fun standard content. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And Maria, where can our viewers find you?
Yes, so I usually stream on Twitch on weekdays, European mornings and afternoons. It is Twitch Mythic Maria, and also I post my content updates on my X at @ppgerald_, as well as I upload my VOD on my YouTube channel at Mr. Instant Spike. So different handles. I'm sorry, but Mythic Maria is my main channel. Yeah, I hope to see you all tomorrow, actually, at 11 a.m. Central European Time at Mystic Maria. And thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Kai, I will ask you to stick around a bit longer since we are going to take a look at Modern in a bit. And we have some lovely guests joining us as well. So, please, I will be joined now by Thijs and our lovely guest Skura, who is already ready in the call, will be joining us for our Modern segment. So I'll scoot on over.
Hello, everybody. I'm back.
All right. So, Skura, can you hear us? Or do we have tech issues there? No, I think I heard laughter, so I think Skura is here.
I'm hearing nothing, to be honest.
Well,
Should I say something?
yep, no, now Kai is gone as well. Oh,
okay.
there you are. Thank you, Kai.
Okay.
You just said something. That's very good. Thanks.
All right, Skura, can you hear us? One moment. We'll be with you in a moment. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the modern metagame. So, Thijs, you are quite familiar with the modern metagame as you organize it in your local LGS here in Ghent. What's the most played deck there?
Actually, in our local metagame, there is no most played deck. It's a really diverse metagame. I note down on most FNMs, I note down our players' metagame, and it's rarely an occurrence that two people play the same deck. But
At the local RCQ this weekend,
But
what was the most represented deck?
we did have a really big RCQ this weekend. I analyzed all the deck lists today, and I came to one conclusion. The most played deck was, to nobody else's surprise, Boros Energy, the deck you see at your far left on the slide too. Boros Energy has been a mainstay of Modern ever since Modern Horizons 3 released, and just really hasn't left the scene. There were some bannings to hamper the deck a little bit. Amped Raptor got banned last fall, I believe. The One Ring too, but it wasn't enough to keep the deck down. It remains really, really good.
All right, let's do a quick check. Skura, are you here now? No, not yet. Okay, no problem.
Still no Skura?
All right. Well, please check your audio settings because we do believe that there might be some issues there with the setup. Well, meanwhile, talking about Boros Energy, I saw that some Magic players were actually upgrading them to Mardu Energy.
Yes.
Oh, Skura, we would like to do one more check. Could you give it another try?
Let's talk.
Yeah,
Talking.
we should.
Talking.
Yeah, you're talking. We hear you.
We are hearing you.
Excellent.
Great. Hello, everyone. Then.
Lovely to hear you.
Let's go.
We made it. Like Kai said, it's a tradition. By now,
I went through the same.
we all had tech issues and sound issues, so no worries.
Let's say experimental phase of our stream.
Indeed, but hopefully the last time we had these issues. So, lovely to have you both here. Thank you for joining us. It's great to have you.
Happy to be here. Yeah. Let's talk modern.
Absolutely. Let's. So, we've talked, is it non-stop in standard? And now it's back. We need to talk about it again.
Well, actually, Vivi Ornithor was in the standard slides. In my opinion, it might as well have a spot in the modern slides as well.
Yeah. Either
Do you
prowess
agree on
is
that,
just.
Kai?
Go ahead, Skura. Go ahead.
Okay. I will.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, is it prowess is arguably top 3 or maybe even top 1 deck right now, which might be a good thing or a bad thing depending on who you ask. If you ask me, and conveniently I own the mic right now, it's a good thing. Because modern has been defined by people just, you just threw me off by that picture. Has been defined by linear decks just not drawing each other. And prowess can definitely do that, but it's still creatures, burn spells, attacking, blocking sometimes. So it's just cool to have a deck like that at the very top of the metagame. And then if you look at the top 3, which is in my opinion red-white, black-white, blue-red in some order, then you'll see you've got just creatures, interaction, and synergy. And if these are the top 3 decks, awesome. Yeah.
I totally
Modern
agree
feels
with
in a
that.
great place. It's so much fun.
Yeah. It's way better than before the banning when everybody was just comboing with Underworld Breach and so on. So as long as Boros Energy is the most played deck, as Skura already said, it's a fair deck. You can always find strategies to beat it. There's nothing. If you want to build a deck that beat Boros Energy, you can. And it was
Would you
very
guys
hard to
say
do that with.
Modern is in a really good place right now?
Yes,
I would say
I
so.
would say that Modern. Yes, yes.
So because basically you've got these fair decks at the very top, with a couple of unfair decks sprinkled in that keep very grindy decks in check, but you can also play those grindy decks if you want to. There are some decks on the verge of fair and unfair, which is also cool. Like we've got the whole spectrum actually. Like you just come up with a macro archetype you want to play, bam, you can play it. And also like there's a slew of tier 3-ish decks I would know that you can play and succeed with, and that's also great.
Are you not unhappy that you cannot play Underworld Breach anymore?
Well, that's
you were
been the thing
you were
of
like a
Modern
Mox
basically
Amber
of
enjoyer.
all its existence.
Yeah, so the thing is that if they take away your toys, just find new ones.
Okay, that makes
You
sense.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to rediscover yourself sometimes.
Or play amulets.
Actually,
That's
I
the
want to
other.
talk about amulets. What is now? Did anyone have any experiences with the rule change, considering Blood Moon and Saga? Was it impactful for Modern?
Yes,
Yes, what do you want to know?
it's very impactful. It's immensely impactful, and I'm saying that as a Saga player, not amulet player though, but as a Saga player, it's insanely huge.
Okay.
Like it flips a lot of things because like not only are you not afraid of opposing harbingers, which previously warped the way you had to sequence your lands disadvantageously to you, but you can also play them yourself to host decks like, I would still say Titan, because Saga stays in play, but they're still malfunctioning. So basically worst enemies to best friends.
So true, so true. I'm currently actually working on a Blood Moon Lantern control deck that abuses its own Blood Moons to keep sagaing
Why
people
not?
and just lock them out. It's terrible and people hate it, but it's I love it, and that's zero-sum game, zero-sum fun in Modern.
Well, actually, the RCQ I played a few days ago, there was also one Lantern player playing, abusing the new rule with Blood Moon and Saga to help find the combo pieces. And that's really so insane to happen. Luckily enough for the top 8, the player who played Lantern did not reach the top 8, so untimed rounds while playing Lantern has a diminishing effect on the time of your tournament. So luckily most players in top 8 were playing the Is It Prowess or Boros Energy aggro decks.
I just think it's a wonderful change as someone who enjoys their sagas immensely. So I cannot wait to play more Modern. It feels incredibly healthy and incredibly fun. Talking about healthy and fun, Goblin Charbelcher, getting Charbelchered out of the game. Also a great Modern staple, a fun combo deck to play, but it's incredibly difficult to navigate around and try to fight through with certain decks.
But a really good cornerstone to have in your format. It's a dedicated combo deck that just has one game plan, and the whole deck is resolved around that. And just having that in your metagame, on top of the metagame even, is just the sign of a good, healthy format, I think. What do you guys think, Kai and Skura?
I totally agree with that. I mean, we already established that Modern is has a very healthy meta, and that also implies that you have all different kind of strategies to be good, and that you can play what you want. Play fair texture decks, play unfair combo decks, and that's part of a good meta, that everybody can play anything and that every archetype is represented. Also, Belcher is pretty good against like Boros Energy, so this is also just to have a deck that they've been known to be good at like the elephant in the room. To be good against the elephant of the room is also pretty nice.
Yep.
I couldn't agree more. Also, could we take a look at our next slide? Since we are talking RCQs, well, one more, please. Yeah, we have a RCQ winner in our midst, and he qualified for Antwerp. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, happily. So I came back yesterday from my trip to the north of Poland, and I played 2 days. On Saturday, I won, which made Sunday a bit more chill, admittedly, which also allowed me to scoop my teammate into top 8 because I had already been qualified. And I played Jeskai Ascendancy, a deck that
Always nice if you can scoop a teammate in top 8.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And then we just went to grab some coffee. That was pretty nice as well. I wanted to play something that gave me the same thrill that the Breach did. Now, this deck is just completely different. It's just a different deck. Yes, it plays a couple of cards are the same, but it's completely different. And it's also kind of a new macro archetype that I haven't seen in a long time, and that's aggro combo. There have been numerous games where, so like people think that Jeskai Ascendancy as a card is bad if you don't combo. And the more I play it, I think the reverse is true. I've had numerous games where I would play some stuff, including Cory Steelcat, of course, and then Jeskai Ascendancy would basically be global prowess, which just kills them so fast. It's insane. And in some creature-on-creature matchups, with very close, like attacking and blocking, I could just go attack you, they make some blocks, then I make a spell, basically pumping the team and giving them vigilance because they untap, and I'm safe on the swing back. So it's just so good. So yeah, happy to have won, happy to qualify for the 3rd RC in a row. Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
Well,
Congrats.
Good job.
yeah, excellent. Kai, how was your RCs? Have you played any RCQs so far? Because I see you at every RC, so I just assume you're qualified already.
Yes, indeed, but I did play limited for my qualification for Antwerp. I went to like a small city in the north of Germany. There was like a 45 people limited RCQ in Akir limited. Well, I happened to open Ugin in the sealed portion, which made it very easy to get to the top 8. And then I drafted an okay-ish Ors of deck, which won me the trophy. So I am also qualified for Antwerp as well. Yes. Let's go. But I don't know what to play.
Congratulations.
Can we make a Final Fantasy Modern deck?
Well,
sure.
That is to be discovered.
A full Final Fantasy Modern deck is going to be hard, I think, but there are definitely some inclusions that can be put in existing decks. Maybe a few cards that can spawn like an entire new archetype, looking at Tifa Lockhart maybe. But maybe this is a good segue to go to our next slide.
Yeah, let's take a look at some other excellent cards. We see here Sephiroth, the Fabled Soldier, and he's actually seeing play in what used to be Boros aggro, because apparently when you just blow stuff up with your Goblin Bombardment, you tend to sacrifice some creatures, and that triggers Sephiroth even more. And that does seem like a powerful engine in Modern.
Yes, definitely. So I've seen Sephiroth in play already in Paper Magic at the RCQ. A few players played the Samwise Gamgee combo, a combo deck that revolves around getting food back and sacrificing back with Cauldron Familiar. And somehow Sephiroth is like a natural inclusion in that type of deck because it's just a big beat stick on its own, but it's just having it around and making it survive the turn allows you just to win the next turn, even with like a few pieces. Skura, have you experimented with a card like Sephiroth or theory crafted something?
Well, no, because it's not blue or not a blue legend specifically, and I'm kind of, let's say, trying to be on brand with what I do. But
That's why I specifically ask you.
I have seen it
You
and
gotta
I have
stay on
thought about
brand.
it. And so the one thing that you said about the Goblin Bombardment is that you don't actually need so many creatures in play, because that would be a very easy counter argument that it wouldn't really work. But you can use those creatures and that 1 damage to kill an opposing creature, and it's symmetrical. So you actually could sacrifice just 3 creatures, killing 2 in the process, which would amount to 5. And if you have sacrificed something with the EBTB trigger, or 4th time, sorry. It's, oh god, such an easy restriction. I thought it's 5. Easy. Okay, so one thing is bombardment, but another is Yawgmoth. Because you could just sacrifice Young Wolf, kill something, sacrifice Young Wolf, kill, done, flips.
That seems like a home as well. I would say that Sephiroth also fits very well in the Yawgmoth shell. I mean, Yawgmoth is not very heavy played right now.
No.
Would you assume that it can have a resurgence with Sephiroth? Is it good enough?
No.
Okay.
But we have, there is a number of players who really love the archetype, and there are these kind of subcultures of decks. And this is one of those that just gets a buff. So that's nice. Like, I really like when those tier 2, tier 3 decks just get a bit better, making the gap between tier 1 and tier 2 just a bit smaller. And actually, just thought of it.
Right, let's take a...
It might just one last sentence. It just might spawn back Warren Soul Trader deck, the mono black thing,
Okay, true.
which plays like Unearth and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that could work. All right, let's take a look at our next one. This is one that Kai, you requested?
I mean, I'm not really sure. As Skuro already said, it's pretty nice if like
This is
tier
a new
2
one for
or
me.
tier 3 decks.
I didn't expect it.
Like if tier 2 or tier 3 decks get some new toys. And I was thinking about Hammer Time. I mean, Hammer Time gets some love with the new Cloud, like the new Stoneforge Mythic and so on. And this one is a 1 mana instant speed equip. So you can equip Colossus Hammer for 1. I would assume that it's more for like Pioneer. Like, because Pioneer doesn't have a Stoneforge Mystic and doesn't have a shell for Hammer Time now. But Stolen Uniform is a 1 mana way of equipping Colossus Hammer, instant speed. Maybe could work, considering this and Cloud and some love for the equipment decks. It will probably still be tier 2 tier 3, but at least you can look at it.
Yeah, I also think if you want to include this card in the modern Hammer Time deck, not really sure it can find like a full spot there, but it might be like a good 1 or 2 trick to have in the deck to like equip your Colossus Hammer at instant speed, as you say. But however, the thing you were saying about Pioneer, I really like that one because, as you said, Cloud is Pioneer's Stoneforge Mystic-ish, and then this new blue card is like Sigarda's 8. So you can like port the whole strategy over to Pioneer and maybe have a functional Pioneer deck.
Okay, let me give you a play
Well, thank you
that
for
I really
suggesting
think
this.
should happen. Okay, sorry. You play Hammer. Let's say blue-white Hammer, you play this because it fits into your game plan. But what you actually do at some point is you choose your creature and their Cory Steelcutter, which you steal, equip, grant trample, and kill them.
Oh.
Because,
Easy.
yeah. That's what I want to see.
Because everyone is playing Cory Steelcutter, so you can
That's
assume that
next
your
level
opponent is playing
metagaming.
them.
If Cory Steelcutter is tier 1 and is in every deck,
Easy.
Precisely.
All right, yeah, that does sound amazing. Let's take a look at our next submission. It is Tifa Lockhart, a card that is currently seeing play, and we actually see some people losing to it in older formats as well.
So, just to clear the air about Tifa Lockhart, we all know what it can do. You play one of the multiple +4/+4 spells a la Vines of the Vastwood of Grounds or Groundswell. Tifa becomes a 5/5. Then you play a fetch land. Tifa becomes a 10/10. You fetch the land. Tifa becomes a 20/20 with trample. Opponent, what you gonna do? Skura or Solaris. Is it Solaris, right? What do you guys think?
You can
Okay.
start Skura if you want.
I will. So I lost to it in dual commander actually today, and that it was the commander. So like they always had turn to Tifa. That's how it works, and I just died every time on turn 3. It was just the consistency was insane. But going back to modern, the question is how that should be better than, for example, Blighted Agent. And there are a couple of arguments, because maybe you can be mono green. Maybe you can use Green Sun Zenith to find it. So maybe the rest of the deck doesn't have to be so warped. Maybe you don't need as many pump spells.
Yes.
And you can have just more protection, because a single pump spell is just enough. So this would require a lot of thinking to rebuild what we think of as an infect deck. But I think we could do something there, yeah.
It looks like an interesting choice, yeah. I mean, it's as Skura said, it would be a rebuild of an infect deck, kind of. Yeah, I agree with Skura here at this point. It looks like a very interesting rebuild of the infect deck, because it would just have the same playing patterns. You play one threat and then try to protect it and put some pump spells on it, and there's a lot of material already in Modern that you can use to make Tifa a really good silver bullet. So I would assume that she has some potential, that you can build a mono green Tifa build that actually could work. Yeah, I can see her winning easily on turn 3. Yeah.
I'm also very enthusiastic about the fact that we will see maybe more Noble Hierarchs and more ignoble Hierarchs again on turn 1. Because with both their Exalted trigger and just that extra mana that will give them that extra push to protect her on turn 2, that would definitely help in that matchup.
Definitely. That's like the classic infect strategy as well. Like you play a noble on turn 1, then you can like drop your blighted agent and have protection up for it as well to allow you to turn 3 kill. So doing this in a deck with Tifa might seem counterintuitive at first sight, because playing a card like Noble Hierarch sort of gives you the benefit of not playing as many lands. But yeah, you play a landfall creature, so you do want to play them. But if you like fill it up to the brim with fetch lands and just the necessary shocks or duels, then the few nobles might do the job to like tempo you up and like give you a consistent turn 3 kill.
That makes a lot of sense.
Could we take a look at our next? We've talked about him before. Yoshi P himself, the Wandering Minstrel.
The new inclusion in Amulet Titan.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the consensus is just yet. I know people have been trying it out as a one-off, because you can Green Sun for it, you can Pact for it. I'm not sure how it changes the mana lines, because in Titan, when you think of an inclusion, you always have to count, like what kind of situations does it help you in? Because you have to pay 2 mana up front. So it has to be some specific scenarios where having an untapper is worth paying 2 mana up front, because it nets you enough mana in the end. But what lines are those? I don't know, actually. You would have to ask a Titan player. but it might be like, a card that saves you in spots when you have,
It's actually a really good
explore
point.
and something, I don't know.
I actually really want to learn Titan. Like the lines of that deck look so complex, but so interesting, and it's just a deck that has so much potential, so much power, but the skill required to pilot it is so immense that I just really am looking forward to the challenge of piloting it. I just need to pick up a couple more pieces, and I would definitely bring it to an FNM or an RC.
The learning curve is endless of that deck. The lines you have to take to win the game are insane, and you can just win the game out of nowhere with that deck. But you just have to take like 30 or 40 game actions to actually get to that point where you have a limitless
Only.
amount of primeval titans with hastes attacking your opponent with that.
Yep. Well, currently I'm still at the stage where I just go like, I believe you what you are doing. Yes, I am probably dead. Please continue. But I look forward to getting deeper into those lines. Well, on that note, that is our final modern card of the day. We are going to play a little game of Pre-Con Commander after this. But before that, Skura and Kai, I really want to thank you both for being here with us for this community stream. And Skura, where can people find you?
Well, people can find me on my YouTube channel if they just type in Islands in Front, because that's me.
But why
You
should
can
they?
find me,
Islands in front?
yes, because I play actual lands in front, in paper. You can also find me on X/Twitter, Islands in Front. You can find me on Metafy and read my content, including Jessica Ascendancy Guide. What? Yes. So also there. But there I'm Skura, not Islands in Front. And yeah, Reddit probably. I also talk about Pauper a lot because I play fairies. So yeah, if you write Skura, Islands in Front, you'll find me, no worries.
Okay.
Pauper, is that an interesting format? Do people play that? Is that something that people wanna see? Skura, what do you think?
What a question. Well, what I can tell you is that in 3 weeks I'm attending a 1,000-player Pauper tournament in Italy. So
Seems like Pauper's pretty big. We should definitely look at Pauper as well.
Should we? Good to keep in mind.
Oh, okay.
All
Some
right,
foreshadowing
Kai, thank
here.
you so much. Please let us know, where can we find you?
Well, I'm Solaris. Very easy to write with a 4 and a 1 as the A and the I. Everywhere you can find me basically everywhere Solaris MTG on YouTube or on Twitch or on X/Twitter. Usually my content will be in German though. So if you want to learn some German or you actually are German speaking, feel free to catch me up there live streaming every day in the week, or just putting on some YouTube videos.
Well, thank you so much to you both for being here. We are going to go and leave this couch and go and sit at our table for some Commander gameplay. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us all, and a special thanks to all our creators that joined us, to our friends at Wizards of the Coast for helping us set up this community stream. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Fanfinity community stream with Final Fantasy and Magic the Gathering. We are currently playing some commander decks, the pre-con commander decks that were with the Final Fantasy set. I'm here with my colleagues in the Fanfinity office, and we are going to have some fun. Now, let's take a look at what everyone's playing. Let's start off with Dace.
Hello everyone. I am playing Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, a blue-green-white commander that has everything to do with +1/+1 counters. Tidus itself is a 3-mana 3/3 that says at the beginning of combat on your turn, you may move a counter from target creature onto a second target creature. And then it has another effect called Cheer. And Cheer says whenever one or more creatures you control with counters on them deal damage to a player, so no creatures, just to players, you may draw a card, I may draw a card, and proliferate. For the newer players, proliferate means that every counter on the battlefield or on players, I get to add an additional counter.
Seems rather powerful. All right, and Mr. Bambi, what are you playing today?
I am playing Cloud X Soldier. He is 2 red, green, white, and he has haste. When Cloud enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. Whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens.
All right, and Nils, could you tell us a little bit more about your commander?
Hello everyone, I hope you can hear me. My commander is Yustola, Knight Blessed from the esteemed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. What she does is, I can cast her for 1 colorless blue, black and a white mana. She's a 2/4 with Vigilance, and at the beginning of each end step, if a player lost 4 or more life this turn, I may draw a card for any player. Whenever I cast a creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, I deal 2 damage to each opponent and I gain 2 life.
Seems rather strong as well. And I will be playing Terra the Herald of Hope. She is a Mardu commander, a 3/3, and at the beginning of combat on my turn, mill 2 cards. Terra gains flying until the end of turn. Whenever she deals combat damage to a player, I may pay 2. When I do, return target creature with power 3 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped. So I am a reanimator strategy. I'll be trying to dump things in my graveyard and bring them back. So, what's on the line here today? We are going to open these booster packs that we got with our commander decks. And we, depending on the order in which that we are knocked out in this commander deck, in this commander game, you will be able to pick a card. We're redrafting the packs. So let's take a look. Nils, what do you got?
I'm very excited. As some people will know, I love to open collector boosters. So everything I can wrap open, I'm very excited about. So let's go first for, well, it's a commander already in the pots. It's Tidus. So it is actually your commander, but in an alternate frame. And the other card is, I suppose, one of the other commander cards, which we'll see later in the game.
Sorry, hate to interrupt here, but I will be taking the Tidus right now.
Oh!
I'm replacing it with my own commander.
That is fair. That is only fair to do. I agree.
Agree. All right, Bambi, let's take a look what you got.
Okay, so
No stress in opening booster
I
packs.
am notorious. Oh, damn.
Oh, hey.
It went really quick. Last
Well
time I
done.
did this, it took me a while to open. So let's take a look. Champions from Beyond. Really nice card.
I love that, the party finder.
Then the second one is Gata and Luzzo.
Ooh,
Nice.
I heard it's a very
Nice.
powerful card.
All right, Thijs, what do you got?
Go. Let's open some packs.
I'm gonna already grab these and put them to the side.
Makes sense.
You guys hear this? This is the sound of booster packs opening. The sound we all love, right?
We all do.
Too much.
It's oh, it is,
Whoa.
whoa! It's not
They
nothing.
should have never given us this much power.
It's true. It's true.
Apart from that, we have Summon Good King Mark the 7th, I think. So
It's
Yeah.
12th.
The 12th.
12th, yeah. X is 10.
That's-
And then we got another Mark.
Oh, damn.
nice.
Warrior.
Kupo.
This is the Fiend's booster.
Yeah.
All
Double
right.
mark.
Nice.
Love it.
Excellent. I'll take a look at whatever is in this packet, Kupo.
I don't trust you with those.
Kupo? I'm just putting it on the side.
Yeah,
They will
I
be in view for everyone.
Oh!
I thought you had
there.
experience.
going to put my
So
boost
for the
on.
stream who are watching, we just had some chicken nuggets, so all of our fingers are greasy. Opening booster packs is really hard.
I will take that one. Thank you very much.
All right. It looks like we got another alt art commander of our pool. So Bombi will be playing that cloud. And the other card I got is a Siegfried, Famed Swordsman, another commander card. Lovely to see these. All right.
Damn.
Let's grab our decks out of the wonderful Ultra Guard, Ultimate Guard. Oh, sorry. Um,
And here
Thank you.
the circlings begin, apparently.
Yes, for the people who don't know it yet, this is the. These are the tokens that are still in there, and then we will grab all the other boosters. And you know what's the best about newly sleeved decks? They glide very well, and
Yeah.
sometimes a little bit too well.
So I should say I'm a complete noob at this. I played one commander game with these people, and that's about it. I played two without you guys, but still.
Actually, I started playing Magic by playing Commander.
Yeah, me too.
Can you imagine how difficult it was the first half year?
Yes, I can imagine. But Commander, in my opinion, still is one of the most casual yet fun way to play Magic with friends.
Yeah, true.
I think I can't count how many games I played with Emma in Commander together.
Ah, that.
Actually, before I played Commander and what's it known as Elder Dragon Highlander, before that I played Highlander, which was basically the same thing.
You call Commander Elder Dragon Highlander?
EDH, I do.
Oh,
And I'm dating myself here, but my first one to play was a Borscht, the Golem. It was really fun.
oh yes. Oh wow, yeah.
I have no clue what you guys are talking about.
It is a big golem.
It's also decades ago, so
I wouldn't say that. You look still stunning
Yeah,
and very young, Emma, for your...
decades ago.
You wouldn't say it. I would gladly present my deck.
Please feel free to cut
I
my
am
deck.
butchering this deck, so it's not handy that these sleeves are all the same color.
Oh, someone in the stream is asking what your rank is on Arena. It depends on limited or standard.
The reason this person is asking is because they are actually one of our other colleagues and they have made it to the mythical rank of Diamond 1, playing nothing but mono white live game. And that is triggering me enormously.
Even I know that's not the best.
There
Oh,
you go,
where are my
guys.
tokens?
And the tokens are... That's a good question. I think they're still in the deck, in the deck box.
Alright, I got my tokens here. Before we take our hands and decide mulligans, should we roll to see who goes
That's
first?
the best part of Commander, right?
Are we gonna roll highest or lowest?
I would like to roll lowest.
Lowest, okay.
Let's do something different than all the other games. 7, average, for
Like-
both high and low. 5?
5, that's
That's
low.
better.
You guys want to see Snake Eyes?
Oh, okay.
I'm infamous for rolling bad, so see, this
Yeah,
is bad,
definitely bad.
in this format.
All right.
As I rolled 4, I will choose to start this game.
Yes, and in Commander, you get to draw 7, you get 1 free mulligan, and you get to draw a card at the start of your turn, even if you are the first player.
Oh, so many nostalgic cards. The problem is, I only have 7 playables and no lands. So I'm afraid I will have to put all these nostalgic cards back into the deck. Oh, small spoiler for later.
Such a tragedy. If only we pre-sculpted our openings.
I actually will keep my hand, and I will not complain about it.
Oh, but we're...
So difficult.
So Emma, we are playing Magic the Gathering. Commander.
True.
Actually, going
Yes.
to keep my hand as well.
Is it something most people do?
I don't know what you're talking about. They might though. Some of my colleagues definitely might.
And are some of those colleagues present in the room?
All of them.
What is your favorite commander, Emma, since we're still shuffling all our decks?
My favorite commander, Karazakar, the Eye Tyrant. I love to goad people into attacking each other and being a little bit toxic at the table with just asking people to, yeah. Only the deck is called Let's See Other People.
And Niels, what
Nice.
is your favorite commander?
Oh, I think so. Back in the day, me and together with Emma and another group of friends, we gave commanders to each other to build a commander deck around. And mine, by that time, I was starting with Magic. It was Gave, and since then I've been bringing that deck out, and I've been slowly building up more and more about my Gave deck. And I must say it's my favorite commander, simply for the many games I played with it and the lovely memory I got from it.
So wholesome.
Yes.
Definitely.
The only commander
Also,
I played was Winter.
Such a good answer. It's
What
like
deck?
Niels, like
Winter.
every time has his answers really, really good prepared.
Sometimes.
Well,
This is my free mulligan. I will keep my opening my 7.
Bambi, what do you think?
I'll keep my hand, yeah.
Niels?
I'm a. Huh?
Check.
I have one land, so I will already let you guys play, but I'm not going to be able to have a hand when I only have one land.
Oh no.
Oh no! But I will.
There's nothing to be done about it.
Nothing to be done
So
about
chat, as you can see, we are playing Commander as it should be. No hands are pre-made this time. We just do it on the fly.
That
So
has.
what was it? This was a chicken, right?
Yes.
I know it's a chocobo, by the way, but
I
still.
fear that this one is going to haunt me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, haunt you like the pigeons haunt Niels. But that's a story for another time.
That's
I
story
don't
for
know
another
that story, to
Well,
be
That's a
honest.
story for another time. Please bless my deck.
Let's just
I
let's see
am
if Niels has
shuffling
to
it that
mulligan
bad, so
again.
don't
If he
have
does,
any land.
maybe we'll have time for the pigeon story.
Ah, the pigeon story.
I
Let's
will
not
have to ask
eternalize
what
it on the
some
internet
cards do
yet.
when I play them, but still.
That's okay.
No worries.
All right, this already looks like I can do something with this.
You are here, Pammy,
I
with,
will keep this hand.
two very experienced Magic players, and Niels as well. So you will get all the explanation you need.
I will put as
Alright.
is custom
Dace, you can start.
All right.
one
Okay.
card on the bottom of the deck.
So you have land now.
I will
do you?
start by playing a Radiant Growth. Tapped,
Oh.
green, white land, and you can go. Bobby.
Okay, then I will start my first turn with Rugged Prairie.
Okay.
And that will be it. Oh, I forgot to draw a
I
card.
also didn't do that. There
Ah,
we go.
there we go.
Such an experienced Magic player we have here at the table, ladies and gentlemen.
As I will
Dace
go to my
is
turn,
really.
I
I
will
play competitive
untap,
Magic. I'm
upkeep,
not
and
used
draw.
to drawing a card on the first turn of the game.
All right, I will start with. I think I will start with a wonderful-looking prairie stream and pass the turn.
All right, I'm going to try and hold the microphone like this as I draw a card for turn. I will play a tapped Foreboding Ruins, which is actually a red-black land that enters the battlefield tapped unless I show a mountain or swamp from my hand, which I refuse to do for you people.
Okay.
So go.
Okay. You refuse
The
or you
information.
Untap. Upkeep. Draw. That's interesting. I will play a brush land and follow it up with an Arcane Signet.
Strong play.
Yes.
Ooh,
Turn.
Okay. I will draw, and I will play a mountain. So that allows me to tap Rugged Prairie and a mountain for Sid, Free Flyer Pilot.
What does he do?
Equipment and vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. He has jump, so during your turn, Sid has flying, and if you pay 2 and tap, you return target equipment or vehicle card from your graveyard to your hand.
That's
does
really
seem
strong.
Very strong, especially in an equipment deck. I will untap, upkeep, and draw a card for turn.
Looks like you're actually ramping as well. Oh no.
Very good. I will not ramp. However, I will do something. I will play an Exotic Orchard. And for 2 mana, I will play, which I think you have been speaking about as well in the stream, an Astrologian Planisphere. I'm sorry, sometimes the names will be difficult. It has a job select, so when it enters, I will instantly make a hero token. And it's also a wizard in addition to its other creature types. And whenever I play a non-creature spell, or I draw my third card each turn, it gains a +1/+1 counter.
It's the TCG player of jobs, right? In Final
is.
Fantasy?
It
Alright.
is indeed. And you will see many more.
Well, okay. I will untap and draw. I will play a Battlefield Forge, which is a land that taps for colorless or for a little bit of color, but then it damages me. And for 2, I will play Knight's Whisper. I will draw 2 cards and lose 2 life.
I heard
Okay.
drawing cards is very strong in Magic.
First blood
1, 2,
already
3,
drawn.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I unfortunately have 8 cards in my hand, so I will have to discard a card.
And what do you discard, Emma?
I discard Cyan, the Vengeful Samurai. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature card in my graveyard, which was none at the time. He has Double Strike 3/3, and whenever 1 or more creature cards leave my graveyard, I may put a +1/+1 counter on him. And I will end my turn, Dice.
Untap.
There's no reason why I play this card.
Draw.
For sure not.
Ooh, I had a plan. But the card I drew might change my plan. So I will play an Evolving Wilds. Then I will tap 3 mana to play. Let's think. Let's play Lulu, Stern Guardian. So guys, if you want to attack me, what do you need to know? As long as Lulu is here on my battlefield, if you attack me, your creatures get a stun counter. What does
Oh.
that mean? They don't untap the following untap step. Also, Lulu itself has Proliferate, which means I can add all the counters on the battlefield. I can see all the counters on the battlefield, and I add one of them.
Sure.
I'm gonna fetch with Evolving Wilds, but I'll do it in your guys' turn.
Of course.
Okay.
That sounds like a good thing to do.
So I will untap my lands and draw a card. I will then proceed to tap my mountain and play a Soul Ring.
That is, I think, the strongest card in Magic.
Another...
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby is threats.
So
I agree. Bombi is the arch enemy.
do I want to do anything else? I don't think I can. So
Okay.
I will give the turn to you.
You don't want to attack with Sid?
I am probably going to hold on for a moment.
That is fair. That is a fair thing to do. I will untap, upkeep, and draw. And so many memories when I play this deck. I will play Plains, and then. I'm sorry. Sometimes I need a little bit of time to read my cards. I would like to play Artbird, Warrior of Darkness. He is a 3-mana 2/2 creature, a Spirit Warrior, the Warrior of Darkness, of course. And whenever you cast a white spell, you put a +1/+1 creature on each legendary creature I control, and they gain Vigilance till the end of turn. And if I do it with a black spell, they all gain a +1/+1 and gain Menace till the end of the turn.
That's really strong.
I gladly pass the turn to you, Emma.
I will untap and draw a card. Okay, nothing changes. I will play a Black Swamp. I will tap 2 for a Milliken, which will both ramp me and help me with my main strategy of milling and reanimating cards.
Okay.
And speaking about reanimation, I found a Reanimate, which puts a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under my control. Now, do you guys have any creatures in your graveyard?
I don't
My
have any
graveyard
creatures.
is empty.
I didn't
I
think
just
so.
have a land card.
Well, I'll do a little bit of damage to myself, bringing back Cyan. And with a little bit, I mean 7 damage. I'll deal myself 7 damage to have a 3/3 double striker.
That is quite
A
powerful.
3/3 double striker. Any other effects?
Whenever 1 or more creature cards leave my battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on my 3/3 double striker.
Check.
Go.
Let's go. Untap, upkeep, draw. Let's see. This is interesting. This is interesting. I don't think I have any good attacks, right? I'll just pay 4 mana. I play a Rampant Rejuvenator. So it's a 0/0, but it enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When it dies, I get to search
that many basic lands in my deck equal to the number of counters on it. Put
Oh.
them on the battlefields. So please attack me now.
No.
You will get a stun counter, and I will get lands.
No, no.
I pass turn to you.
I feel like
That
we
is
have
why
to
I
attack
don't
him.
like blue,
I think you have the creatures to do so.
blue, green. Okay, untap, land, draw a card.
Okay.
And
I think everyone's already starting to get a little bit of their plan all together, which I really enjoy.
The thing is, with my deck, with my equipment deck and my equipment deck, you have to pay the cost of the card and the equipment cost, right?
Yes.
So that
Depending,
makes
because
it
I think
a
Cloud
little bit-
also helps you with that, right? Whenever you
Yes.
attach when Cloud enters, you can put one of your equipment on it. So
Of
therefore, you
course.
don't even have to pay for the equipment.
For
cost.
free.
True, but I also have the most expensive commander of all, so I need a lot of land.
A little
lot
bit of
money.
time.
You will-
So I will play Sacred Peaks.
okay.
Is tapped, and I will proceed in tapping my mountain and my soul ring and play Yuffie Materia Hunter.
Okay.
What does Yuffie do?
Nunjitsu is one normal mana and one mountain, and return any unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card onto the battlefield from your hand, tapped and attacking. I don't know what that really means, but we'll see what happens. And then,
And at this point in the game, it's not relevant
yeah,
anymore.
I thought so. And then when Yuffie enters, gain control of a target non-creature artifact for as long as you control Yuffie.
So you could steal an arcane signet. You
Which
could
is ramp.
steal a planisphere.
Of course.
This is a creature, so you cannot
Yeah,
steal
yeah.
this.
Yes.
I
So you have two choices. You can either take Niels' equipment or you can take my mana source. However, before you make your choice, I would like to make my case.
Okay. Oh, so now the politics of
My
of the
case,
commander
my
begins?
case is very simple. I missed a land drop last turn. Are you going to steal a mana source from the guy who is missing land drops?
Okay, so I need to know, if I steal your mana, does that get untapped
No.
for me? So
No.
it stays tapped,
But
but
I will give you another case why you should. I see you don't have green, and that thing
true.
can
Taps for
make
green.
green.
It
That is the only
it
thing I will
is
say.
true. It is true.
Very good questions. But this is my final plea. Read the last sentence of your card, please.
Then you may attach an equipment you control to Yuffie. So I don't have any equipment.
Do you know what the artifact Niels has? It's an equipment.
Is it equipment?
It is.
But that
So-
makes a green mana source. And that ramps. I'm
So
just saying.
that Bambi
It is
artifacts,
true.
do with this information as you like.
I will let you draw a card if you don't. Take this.
Drawing cards is really good.
Drawing cards is really good. I also want to draw cards.
You will also draw a card then.
Yeah, but you can't enter this discussion. You're not part of it
This
now.
is true. I am not entering.
All right, but I think we both plead our case. Bambi, what would you like to do?
I think I will go for the artifact.
Sure,
the
take it. It's yours.
Arcane Sigil.
I will remember with this.
I know, I'm sorry.
like a
but
Telltale
I
game.
need it. I need it.
It's a Telltale game.
So
Dice
I'm
will
not
remember
going
this.
to equip it to Yuffie, but I will probably.
Here come the eternal grudges of Commander. You do one
I
bad thing to a
think-
I'm pretty
person.
sure there's enough
I
friendships
think I will
destroyed by
attack you
Commander.
with my Sid. So it has
I'm-
jump.
But I'm
Yes.
the lowest life total. I'm kidding,
So
just attack me.
It's,
1, 2.
yes, it's 2.
No blocks. I take 2.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is your turn. I'm sorry.
I will untap, upkeep, and draw. I am a man of my word. So for 1 mana, I will put an underground river inside the battlefield, and I can tap it for blue or black, and it will deal 1 damage to me. I did promise to everyone lands. I will give everyone, cards. I will cut everyone a deal. Each opponent draws a card. Then I draw a card for each opponent that drew a card this way.
I'm not drawing a card.
I am missing land drops, so
Dave.
I am drawing my card.
Each opponent draws a card. It's not a choice.
Oh, you okay? Never mind.
So
Oh, it's not a
I'm
choice.
just
Never
cutting you a
mind.
deal. However, I have 2 triggers. I have a trigger of cut the deal for my astrologist, so it gets a +1/+1 counter because it's a non-creature spell. And since you all drew a card, I draw 3 cards, and that will trigger the second thing of the planisphere. 1,
Niels is going off.
3.
I try to
I
play
am
responsible.
early.
I am just doing as I said what I would do. And
I should've gone for
I
that.
wanted to do something different, but I can't. So I pass a turn.
I agree.
Yeah,
Untap.
yeah, I
Should have
know.
taken Niels' equipment.
I'm a noob.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
sorry. I also missed the trigger of Arbord. I cast a white spell, so this gets a +1/+1 counter as well.
Yeah.
And vigilance.
Draw. Do, 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 do. All right. This changed some options.
I'm happy I could provide you with an additional card, as I said. Did you? I did give you my word.
Yeah, but I thought it was just drawing a card without anyone
I will
else
play
drawing cards.
Shrine Shadow Snarl, tapped, because I'm not revealing anything. And for 3, I will play Terra, Herald of Hope. Then I will go to combat, and I will mill 2 cards off of Terra. 1, 2. A Stitcher Supplier. Lovely card to play and to bring back. Now, since Bambi, you attacked me.
Come on.
I'm going to attack you back, of course.
Okay.
So Cyan will be coming your way. A 3/3 double strike.
I will take it.
Yeah, so you'll take 6 damage.
Yes. Because if I block with Yuffie, she dies,
She
and I
gone.
lose my Arcane Signet.
This is true.
So I think it's better
I
to
will
take
pass the turn to Dice.
I will put my hand on the thing. I going for 1 second.
So, as Bambi has put me back on mana,
Sorry.
I will now take a turn off to do double mana. So I will start with playing a Canopy Vista tapped, and I will tap 2 mana to play a Farseek to get a Plains Island, Swamp, or Mountain from my deck to the battlefield tapped. Before I do that, let's see if there's anything else I want to do. Nope, that's my whole turn. Bambi, you can go.
Okay. I will untap everything that I have.
I'm sorry for my quick disappearance.
All good, my boy. Ooh, what is this? I don't think I will read this now because I had a plan and I don't think this will change the plan. So we have this. We untap it for green.
Yeah.
I'll tap this for white. Tap this for the 2
More.
ones that I need and a mountain to play Cloud X.
All right.
There we go.
So, when Cloud enters, attach up to 1 target equipment you control to it. I don't have any to equip to. Well, I don't have any that I can play right now. So,
If only you would have stolen Niels' equipment.
yeah,
So you
true.
couldn't have played Cloud.
What?
So you couldn't have played Cloud.
Because you didn't have green mana.
True.
Aha.
I still don't have green. I didn't play a land, did I?
What did you play by the
So
way?
I could still play a land.
That's it.
That is
I
good, right?
will play Path of Ancestry.
That
This
is also a
will
good
be
land.
tapped. So Cloud can attack because he has Summoning Sickness.
Yes, haste, good sir.
Oh, he has haste. Ooh, damn, I forgot about that.
That's really strong.
I can't attack you because the stun thingies.
Oh, you can attack me, but I would not encourage you to do so.
Yeah, but you.
I am high, yes, as high as Niels.
Okay.
Niels has it. Niels has it.
High life total.
High in life total. High in life total. Yeah. Let me just say, Bambi's mind went through it faster than mine.
I don't think anyone understands. It's all okay.
Okay. So
Guys, I'm high on life.
Total.
No, just on life.
Oh, I forgot. Everything is 1 less of equipment. I forgot about this.
That always happens in
Damn.
Commander.
That-
when
that
you
would have
need it
been
the
nice.
most.
Oh, crap. Okay. Still, I will attack you with this, with the Sid. So he has jump. Do you have anything flying?
I have 0 flying things.
So it will go to your hit
I will take
points.
2 damage.
And
Gasp.
I think I will attack with Cloud.
So
On
you need to declare all your attackers at the same time.
Oh,
but that
okay.
is fair.
Sorry.
So you declare this to me.
Yeah.
You declare this to Niels.
Yes.
Yes.
Then we can
And
go
that's
to
about it.
blockers.
I'm not going to attack with Yuffie.
I am.
Smart choice.
My life total is getting pretty low here, so I'm just gonna throw my Milliken in front of that,
Okay.
and then tap this to make 1 mana. And doing so, I will mill a card. I will mill rejoin the fight, and then this will die.
Okay,
That was my block.
good to
Mill
know.
3,
And
Think
that
you
is
want
my
that in
turn.
your hand, not in your graveyard, Emma. But I mean, we can't always have what you want, right? So let's untap, upkeep, and draw for the turn. Interesting card. I will play a Desolate Mire, making sure I get all my land drops for the turn. And for 2 mana, I will cast a Thought Vessel. And then I have 1 planes. I will take a damage for the swamp I will create with the underground river. I have a blue mana and 2 colorless, since artifacts do not have any summoning sickness. And I will cast Yistola, Night's Blast, from the esteemed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. On the cast trigger, my Arbit triggers, and it's both a black as a white spell, so both triggers of the card trigger.
All right.
Then, since he has Menace and he has Vigilance, I would like to go on attacking, and a stun counter is hard.
But a vigilance creature getting a stun counter has no effect on the creature.
That is very true. And
Also,
that
I
makes-
don't know why I'm encouraging Niels to attack me.
Well, that made my entire decision a lot easier. So,
Niels cannot help himself, but like, sorry, Tace cannot help himself to explain like, ooh,
but you want to ramp too, and I will allow it. I will attack you with the 5/5
With a 5/5. So
with Menace
let me
and
think.
Vigilance, and that is
stun
so-
counter though.
I have a trigger from Lulu.
and
Your creature will get a stun
I
counter.
would like also to go and hit. Difficult. Oh yeah, it was a non-creature spell, my Thought Vessel. And I would like to attack you with a 4/4.
With a 4/4.
4/4.
I'll just take it.
Obviously, I don't think I'll block actually.
You don't want those lands?
You don't want a 5/5?
I do. I will block with my Rampant Rejuvenator.
It
Which
has
is a-
menace.
And
It has Menace?
it has
Oh,
Menace,
sorry.
because I also had a black and a white spell. The white gives Vigilance and the black gives Menace.
I'll just take the 5. I'll
You
just take
guys
the
are
5.
too strong for me.
Don't worry, you're getting there. Your cloud is already on the board.
I forget
Is it
half
my
of the
turn,
things
Niels?
that I
It
can
is
do.
your
I
turn,
will
Emma.
untap and
Have you seen how
draw.
I didn't attack you?
It was very surprising to me. For each...
Oh, I must say, by the way, at the beginning of my end step, if a player lost 4 or more life, I gain a card. You lost 5 life?
Yes.
I will draw a card. And you also lost 4 life.
Yeah.
So I draw also a card from that.
Yes. True.
And since that would be my 3rd card I draw, this gets an additional counter.
That's really strong. 4. Okay, I am just going to go to combat, and that will trigger Terra, and I will mill 2. 1, 2. A combustible Gearhulk. That's always fun and interesting, but that's too big. All right, then we will deal
Is there
some damage.
there's, I think, a technical issue.
Oh,
It seems that we have to interrupt it for a
One-
small technical issue. As you probably already saw, we didn't, because we don't have vision on everything. So I'm happy we already vocally explained everything, what is happening on the board. But you cannot see the battlefield right now.
I will
as-
put my hand down. So
Yeah, we're all putting our hands down. Well, you can see, they can see it on the cameras. The cameras
Yeah.
there are still online. It's
Yeah.
these, the high
Oh, damn.
overarching thing camera, I suppose.
think the
This is
best
also one of
that-
the first times that we do a community stream, so these technical issues are, well, something that happens from time to time.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe we can already read what is happening in the chat here from time to time.
However, in the future, we will become
This
so
version
much better.
is revoking holidays, apparently.
Revoking holidays, I don't think they have that power. Well,
I
I-
think
I-
they
I-
do. I think they do have that power.
and someone says that we have to behave, but I mean, I think we're doing a very, very good job.
Yeah, actually,
Well, yeah, that is probably difficult for you.
They do. Well, as this person has a lot of power over my holidays as well, I totally agree with what you're saying.
Oh, our camera is
we'll
back.
be
It's
nice
getting,
from
it's
now
getting
on.
quite warm in here.
Yeah,
I,
it is getting hot in here. And I'm not
um,
taking off all my clothes. No
So
camera?
I
Okay.
think our camera overviewing our battlefield is back in business.
That is
right?
already a
Not
good
yet.
job.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That would be difficult since Michael is holding it.
That's
Yeah,
very true.
Then it has a placeholder. There we go. You know, we love you.
We love you too, of course.
We are not obliged to say this, but we do.
I love my
I'm,
I love my
saying-
holidays too.
I'm just
The
saying,
thing
only
is-
me and Emma have been saying we love you too. I'm just.
Love you too.
Niels. Blink 3 times if there's a problem.
There's so many.
There's,
3 times, not 15.
it's just the severity of the problem. All right.
The thing is that I can't read your cards very well because of the light. So can I take a look at your cards?
Of course.
I will do you one better. I will just remove my commander and give you the other copy to read.
Okay.
Maybe he wanted to see the other cards.
Oh, can you read the other ones as well?
I can't read any of your cards. I can read their cards,
Oh, we're
but
going
yours
back
are
up?
just
Stick him.
shining in my eyes.
Oh.
So whenever you choose the target creature attacking you, put a stun counter on that creature. So what does a stun counter actually do?
Okay.
That's a good question.
Indeed. So a stun counter says one thing and one thing only. At the beginning of your turn, remove a stun counter from a creature. That creature does not untap.
Oh, okay.
So the
it
creature
stays like this
for one
for
turn.
that turn.
Yes.
Then
that
the stun counter goes away, and
Yep.
then if I attack again, another
The
stun
next
counter.
turn, it
Yeah.
untaps.
Okay, nice.
And that is the big reason why this was okay to attack with, because it wasn't tapped, so it
Yeah.
doesn't untap. That is true,
True.
but it doesn't need to untap.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just a
Alright.
little bit annoyed that Thijs is so safe behind the stun counter things. So I am going to play this card, which is a Bedevil.
Yep.
And I will pay 2 black and 1 red, and I will destroy Lulu.
Lulu dice.
Now, with Lulu gone, Terra is free to attack you, Thijs.
All right.
Ooh,
So
okay.
Terra is.
Terra is a 3/3, and when she does combat damage to a player, I may pay 2 and return a creature from my with 3 or less power from my graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
With
That
power 3
does
or less.
pay.
Yes,
That's still pretty good.
And my choice is to block or not.
she has flying.
She has flying. I missed that part, so I will just take the 3 damage.
On my turn, she has flying. It is 3 commander
It is 3
damage.
commander damage,
So,
so we will have to note
1,
it.
2, 3, and swoop. And
Did you mill
1,
your 2
2.
cards?
I did.
Okay.
And
There goes
back.
flying.
I thought,
Yeah.
where did all the HP go?
Now I'll pay 2, and I'll return a Stitcher Suppliers because I want to mill some more of my own cards.
That is
Okay.
definitely
1,
understandable.
2, 3, and I mill lands and artifacts.
But that is good.
And in doing so, Stitcher Supplier came back from my graveyard, so it left my graveyard. So my Cyan is now a 4/4 double striker.
That is fair.
And
Okay.
on that bombshell, I will pass the turn.
All right. And tap. Upkeep draw. Let's have a look. All right. So I've got things to do.
You guys are
And
getting
places to
strong.
be.
My plan, I will just follow along with my plan. So I will play green, white, and blue. I will play Tidus, Eunice Guardian, so my commander.
Okay.
What does Tidus do?
So at the start of combat on my turn,
Mm-hmm.
I can move 1 counter from one of my creatures to another creature. Also, whenever one of my creatures with a counter on them deal damage to a player, I get to draw a card and proliferate.
Okay.
That's strong.
It is. So the next step of my plan is I will play a Flooded Grove as my land and pay another 3 mana
Uh-oh.
to play Riku, Resourceful Guardian.
Oh,
So, what does she do? Riku is a 3 mana 2/3,
what a cutie.
and it says whenever I put one or more counters on a creature, that creature cannot be blocked this turn.
Oh.
Also, she has an activated ability, Steal, that's the name. Can you guys think what it does?
I don't think I like it.
So what it does, it moves a counter from target creature an opponent's control
Oh.
Whoa,
to a creature I control.
Damn.
It steals 1/1/1 counter.
how rude.
However, this is an activated ability. I can just start doing it next turn. So, I would like to go to combat and trigger Tidus and move 1 counter from Rampant Rejuvenator up to Riku.
Yes.
Okay.
So she now becomes a 3/4. Then, I have a question to ask to Bambi. Bambi, you remember stealing the artifact from me?
I
Vaguely do.
can't remember that.
Oh, I can't remember that either.
I vaguely recall
The
something like
sleeve
that.
this is from my deck, I think.
So that was setting me back a lot. What I would like you to propose to you, I would love to attack with just my simple 1/1 to you to trigger Tidus and draw a card and proliferate. I would love it if you don't block it and just give me the cards.
He doesn't look like he got set back that much, does he now?
I think
He
he's
didn't get sent back that much.
exactly.
But it's
not-
1 damage, you know.
It's 1 damage and I
It's,
draw
and
a
it's a
card.
card, and it is a proliferate.
And proliferate as well.
Everything
Yeah.
gets a +1/+1.
proliferate thingy.
Well, I'll be honest. The proliferate thingy will do 2 things. It will put an additional counter here and here. I will not touch there, guys, obviously.
Sounds
However,
like a plan.
I might add another stun counter to Niels' creature.
So
see?
the thing is, if you attack and I block with Yuffie,
Then my creature dies.
yeah, your creature dies and I don't get anything.
True. But you already got something. Remember?
Yeah,
Which is
Remember?
rightfully
Remember?
yours.
it is rightfully mine, so I don't think I will go for your deal.
Okay.
But it will probably
You know what?
Sure, no
must
problem.
be a
I think that
later
is a fair thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah?
it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Case closed. So Emma,
I respect you.
I am nobody's second choice. Get out of here.
well, in that scenario, I will pass the turn.
Oh, you got it.
Okay,
doesn't
you
even
pass
ask.
the turn. I will untap.
No, Niels, I'm not asking you. I've given up hope of getting a positive answer here. So I've given up on that.
He has given up on kindness. Valid.
So, I remember sit now. So, equipment and vehicle spells you cast cost 1 less. So, I will cast Heroes Heirloom. And this says equipped creature gets +2/+1 as long as equipped creature is legendary, it has trample and haste.
That is a good card.
So I will pay 2 to equip it to. I think I will equip it to my Cloud, even
It's
though
now a 6/5 with trample.
already has haste, but now he has trample. And I still have a couple of mana to spend, and I will do so if I have enough. Yes, so I need only 1 to
Sword.
cast Sword of
The Amethyst.
the
Animus.
Animus.
Yeah. Equipped creature get +1/+1.
Sort of the anime.
Whenever equipped creature
like anime.
attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Can I equip 2 things
Yeah.
to 1?
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
will
You
equip.
can make it.
Bambi, I think you are missing out on some mana.
What do you
So
mean?
you played the heirloom for 2 mana?
Yeah.
For 1, because
One.
six
One because of this.
discounts everything for 1.
Yeah.
Aha, that was the missing thing for me.
Yes, and I missed that too, 2 rounds ago. So let me have it. So I paid everything. This
equip it.
makes my Cloud a
Big boy.
7/6,
Mhm.
right? Yes. So +3 +2, so a 7/6, and I will attack
So,
With
guys,
Cloud.
let me ask a question to the table.
Okay.
What is your guys' problem with me?
I don't have any problem with you anymore.
I did attack you in the first 3 rounds. Now it is my turn.
I get it. So, can you just repeat what is coming after me right now?
So it is a 7/6, and whenever Cloud attacks, draw a card for each equipped attacking creature you control. Then, if Cloud has power 7 or greater, create 2 treasure tokens.
And
Yeah.
he has 7 power.
He has
Okay.
7 power.
So
and
you
I
get
can draw 1 card because I have only
Yeah,
one
one
equipped creature, right?
Tapped attacking creature.
And you make 2 treasures, and you say you
Yes.
attack this
Yeah.
towards.
Before
to him. And
before
that's-
anything else, are you attacking anyone
No.
else with not that flyer to Nils? No. Okay.
No, because I need some things to defend. Because apparently none.
I'm
none
very.
of you like me
He's
that
very
much.
happy with the card I gave him. I'm
So-
pretty sure.
Cloud is a 7/6. I'm correct, right?
Since you're a new player, I would like to remind you that the Sword of the Amethyst also does something when you're attacking.
Oh, I
Enemies,
forgot about
sorry.
that. That is true. So I need to search for a basic land.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, Tess, please feel free to dedicate what you would like to do against this 7/6 Trampler.
Well, the thing is, I have a block available with Tidus and Rico. That's 3 power in total. So that would resolve in me getting 0 damage and Bambi's commander dying. However, that would leave me with just the Rampant Rejuvenator.
And don't you want that off the battlefield? That
I do, but Cloud also has haste. Sorry, not haste, trample.
Yes, I do have.
So
trample.
I either block with everything or do nothing. I think I will just take the 7 damage. 7 commander damage coming in.
That is rough. But understandable.
So I took the forest land, and
Would it be my turn, good sir?
it is. If you would like to,
It's
Custom
fine.
my deck.
We
I will
trust you.
cut your deck gladly, Bambi.
there you go.
And there you go. And with these fresh sleeves, it's always a little bit iffy.
a
So
little
I
bit
will
tricky, yeah.
untap all my creatures. I will remove the stun counter. And I will draw a card for turn. Now that is interesting.
I feel a bit bad for you, Thijs. You've been suffering here.
I am, right?
Yeah. Not much I can do about it, but I feel bad for you.
Thank you. I can live with it.
I am going to do some shenanigans because that is what I love doing. I will tap this for colorless. I will tap this for white and this for plains. I would like to play Leash Hexed. Yes, one of the lovely characters of Final Fantasy XIV. It's a prowess 2/2. The Steam demo. So it's a 2/2 with prowess. Prowess means whenever I cast a non-creature spell, it gets +1/+1. Non-creature spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. And as long as I cast 2 or more non-creature spells this turn, she has double strike. So, first a trigger that happens when I cast her. Albert gives all my creatures that are white, since it's a white spell, all my legendary creatures get a +1/+1 counter and gains vigilance. This is also Istola. Then she enters the battlefield. I would like to cast a different spell. For 2 mana,
I think Niels might be the problem here.
they call me a problem from time to time. I would like to cast Relic of Legends.
Ooh.
That is an artifact that taps for any mana, and if I tap an untapped legendary creature I control, I may add 1 mana. I can do this as many times as I want. It costs 2, but I still think it has mana value 3, right?
Yeah.
So Yistola triggers,
throw your
and
cards
everyone
around.
loses 2
Don't
life.
throw your cards around.
And I will gain 2 life because of Yistola. What else to cast? I can still cast for 2 mana once again, because it's a. Oh yeah, this gets a counter again because of the non-creature spell. I will cast Blue Mage Cane. Again, this triggers because it is a non-creature spell, and it is mana value 3 or less. So I deal 2 damage to all of you, and I gain 2 life.
2 damage.
2 damage coming in.
And I will gain 2 life, and I might be a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, it is.
What does this card do? It says it is a equipped creature gets 0+02, and it is a wizard in addition to its other creature types. And whenever this creature attacks, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery from defending player's graveyard.
Dangerous.
If I do, I copy it. And you may cast a copy by paying 3 rather than paying its mana cost. I would love to go to combat.
Niels is the problem.
That is rough.
In this commander game.
No.
I'm not denying anything.
But we love him.
I love you guys.
Everyone looked at the camera with shady eyes. I love it.
Even Nils looked at the camera and was like,
I feel like I need to keep my cards up for the simple reason I feel like everyone wants to attack me. So
we need destroyers.
I will decide not to cast anything. However, on my end step, I did all of you damage, so I will draw 3 cards. This gets an additional counter because I do so.
Go for it.
And then I will stop doing things that I love doing.
Can we save the shot?
I will.
If you clip.
I will draw a card.
If you guys can clip me singing, you can clip that shot as well.
I need to discard a card, and I'm an honest Magic player, so I will discard Evolving Wilds.
Sure thing.
Okay, so if you have more than 7 cards, do you have to discard or not?
2 hand size. I had.
Oh,
wait!
I did not know.
I don't have to because I have a Thought Vessel, and the Thought Vessel says I have no maximum hand size.
That is true. That is true.
Oh, I did not know that.
So
but I
in
don't have any...
most of all commander games, there comes a certain point in a game where a Wrath of God type effect would be very much needed. Would you guys agree that we are reaching that point to temper Niels's mighty presence?
The question is, who can does that? Who can do that?
So a Wrath of God effect is a short term for an effect that just blows up the whole board.
Yeah.
But you don't like that.
Yes, but I would like it now, because you're way ahead of us, and you have a really strong board at the moment.
That is fair.
If
I do not disagree with any of what you guys say.
If
I will be
I
sad
read
about it.
my card list,
You have flyers.
good.
I
think
do
I have something
not have
that you
any
would like.
flyers.
Yes.
But I am...
There should be some in my deck as
We will
well.
proceed to go to combat and attack Nils with these 2 characters. She will trigger and I will mill 2 cards. I will mill a land and I will mill Umaro, Raging Yeti, another 6/6 with trample and random effects. Cool.
I would like. Wait, does this have flying?
No, it's just a 4/4 double striker.
I would like to block it with a 1. It has no trample?
Not right now.
Not yet.
I would like to block it with a 0/3.
That seems like a valid strategy. Yep, so you'll take 3 commander damage.
My 40, 51, 41 life.
And then
And this hero dies. You fought valiantly, hero.
you
this stays, right?
sound a bit arrogant there, Niels.
A bit.
A bit. Just
Hello.
a bit tragically arrogant.
Wait, let me do this for you.
Which is the name of the next spell, Tragic Arrogance. For each player, you may choose among the permanents that player controls an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker. Then each player sacrifices all other non-land permanents they control.
What now?
That is painful.
So, with this trigger on the stack, Bambi, if you do not now sacrifice your treasures, I will pick one of your treasures as an artifact to survive.
Wait, you get to choose?
For each player, you choose. Yes, I get to choose.
So 2
okay.
or 1?
You need to sacrifice both, or I'll pick them, and then you will not be happy.
That's okay.
So you can choose one of everything.
Yeah, and then everything else goes away.
We don't choose. Emma chooses.
Yeah, I choose.
That is pretty.
Yeah.
That's very tragic.
So one thing
So
remains.
this can remain.
This remains.
This guy stays around, and you know what? I'll let you keep this guy, but I am going to choose your soul ring as your item, and everything else goes. Nils, you're a bit trickier because I forgot that you were going to block with that 1/1. Otherwise, I would have picked it as your as your creature.
So,
But now I
The
need to
hero
pick
fought
something
The
else.
hero fought
but this goes as
valiantly
well.
You can keep Lease
This
Hexed.
will stay.
because it's your favorite
Okay.
character.
I-
One of the
artifact
favorite
will stay.
characters.
I
the
really
rest
like
goes
Lease.
away.
She's
So
fine.
she chose these to stay.
Yeah.
And then
I would
this
Then,
goes
pick
away and this
Y'shtola,
goes
but she's too strong.
And this
And
also
you
goes
can
away.
keep
Yeah,
the
but
Relic of
that
Legends.
goes to you.
I
guys.
love
goes
the
to
Relic
me.
of Legends. So thank you very
The
much.
Relic
for
of
that,
Legends
Emma.
is really strong.
These go.
Creature? Oh yeah, leash.
Yeah, Lease. Everything else goes.
My commander goes back to my
Yes.
commander, right?
Yes.
Now, for myself, Terra will survive. Cyan will go away, and Stitcher Supplier will also cease to exist and will mill myself for 3 when he goes away. 2, 3. A Talisman, ooh, Celes, a 4-power creature, and Bannon, a 1/3. Ooh, interesting. All right.
Just because I know you're not super experienced, that is, by the way, not a negative thing,
No,
but
no,
your
no.
commander will cost 2 more now.
Yeah, I know. That
Terra
is
will
something
stay
that I
around.
read.
Now,
today.
I'm gonna
Thijs,
put a counter on
it
it,
is
so
your
you
turn.
remember.
All right. Untap,
I will do
upkeep.
it like this, so I know it's 2 more.
Have a look here.
I didn't want to play that board swipe, but I kind of had to since I didn't think the others had it. So, and Nils
So-
was the problem.
I will
Yeah,
play
Niels
a
was the problem.
land, and I will. Yep. I'll pay 5 mana and recast Tidus. There
You
it goes
can
again.
remove a counter from one of your creatures and move it to another one.
I will follow it up
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Walking Ballista on 1?
with Lord Giscal Guado. A 2/1 flyer that says at the beginning of each end step, if I put a counter on a creature this turn, I can investigate. Investigate means I get an artifact that I can sacrifice with 2 mana to draw a card.
You get a clue.
True. So, next I would like to go to combat, and I will have to move some things around. So I can move my counter from this guy, but then he dies. However, then I can attack.
Does he have haste?
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't have haste. So this is just my reset turn. Bambi, I pass to you.
Okay, thank you
Understandable.
very much.
Valid.
Understandable.
Very
I
valid.
untap.
I was too arrogant.
I
Too close to the
draw.
Poor Icarus.
Ah,
Tragically so.
I should have attacked you with everything. I remember now why I do that.
I play a planes, so I will recount everything that I have. This does something else.
It is when you cast, I think.
Yeah, add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type
is a
with
very
your
strong
commander, scry 1. So, but I need to cast a creature for that to trigger. But I
Do
will
you want to say something?
pay 1 white, 1 green, and 1 red, and then 2 normal ones, and these 2 as well
To play Cloud.
Cloud.
All
Yes.
right, Cloud returns.
I know I don't have any equipment that I control, except this, but it's not equipment. So I can't do anything, but he does have haste. And I will attack Niels with...
And you're sure about that?
I am very sure to attack you
I
with
think that is a
Cloud.
very valid thing to do. So I will take 4
Commander
damage.
damage.
So it's this one.
No, you need to swipe. them.
Ah, oops.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ow.
Boop. Oh, what?
Yes, that seems about
Seems
right.
fine.
Yeah.
I guess. And that is my turn, actually.
It is not a bad turn, good sir. I will untap, upkeep, and draw.
had a better thing in mind, but then Emma came in with the whole swoopity swoop.
You're welcome.
Thanks, actually.
I had exactly the same thing. I had my whole turn planned out, and then tragic arrogance happened.
I had something strong in hand, but still, it wasn't strong enough to get him. So I think it's better for her. to
Get
just-
me?
I don't think it was tragic at all.
It was very tragic
I'll
and
play
arrogant.
a swamp for turn, and for 2 mana instead of 3, because leash, I would like to remember all of our fallen comrades with a Bastion of Remembrance. When I cast a Bastion of Remembrance, I will make a 1/1 human soldier. Just like you also have soldiers. I'm just very, you know,
Military-minded.
I just know how, I want to know how it is to be a warrior like you. However, for the second spell I would like to cast, it's 5 mana, for Good King Mog the 12th.
So you want to
Okay.
know what it's like to be a Mughal now as well?
Yes, I would love to. However, I remembered that we opened this separately, so I would like to, you know, since you can do that with your commanders, I would like that
That
to
is
do it
Of
with
course, of
That
course.
is
this
true.
alternate art. It is a saga. Maybe for the people who don't know it, it comes into the battlefield. It's a creature. It gets a counter on it when it enters the battlefield. And in every upkeep, I add a counter, a lore counter on it. And it does every time something different. And at the end, at 4 counters, it goes away.
But what happens if it somehow loses all its abilities?
That is for a different discussion, for a different cast.
Would
And
you
also-
be able to explain
And
that?
also, what
Thijs?
happens if the saga is also a land?
Well, it is not. So therefore, we will discuss that when it happens. However, what I will do at the first, it's a 4/4 flying lifelink creature. And it makes 2 1/2 Mughals with lifelink when it enters.
Okay.
I think that is the most important thing. I would like to pass the turn to you, Emma.
I will untap and draw a card. Thank you.
I gladly be your assistant.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, this opens up more options. Do, 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 do.
Keeping secrets.
Do,
Yeah,
do, do, do.
that's
That is
something that
Emma.
Niels loves
Emma
to
is
do.
the keeper of secrets.
No. You love to do it as well.
Never said I wasn't the
Ah,
keeper of
yeah.
secrets.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry, I just drew an interesting card. But first, I'd like to go to combat. Who has flyers?
I don't have.
I do have
flyers.
flyers.
I have a 2/1 flyer.
Which flyers?
My Mughal.
Oh, Good King Mughal flies.
It is Good King Mughal the 12th.
Then I will attack
Please don't attack me.
Bombi.
Yeah, of
Thank you.
course. With
Fly-
3/3.
3. I'll mill 2. And then I'll deal 3 damage to Bombi. Now I can choose to pay 2 and actually bring something back from the graveyard. If I do 2, that's that. Then I pay 3, that's that. And then I have 2 left. Not good enough. So we are just going to deal you 3 damage, and that's
Okay.
it. And then my second main phase, I'll pay 5, 6, math is hard, and I'll play a Sun Titan. A 6/6 vigilant. Whenever this creature enters or attacks, you may return a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And I will do that. And I will return,
You have.
I'm so greedy,
big
a
graveyard.
Stitcher Supplier, and I'll mill myself for 3. 1, 2, 3 cards. All right,
It's not good.
it's fine.
Oh, it's not.
And I will then pass the turn.
All right. And
I will give you your microphone back.
Thank you.
Draw here.
Oh, that is, you have a lot of cards in your graveyard already.
Good draw, I guess. What can I do with
And still my reanimation targets are very limited.
So I will play a Pot of Instance 3.
Oh,
Tapped.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I heard
Yes,
it's a good
that's
card.
the same one Niels Bambi has.
Oh.
And then I will pay double white. Nope, this is not double white. Double white. Just like this, 5 mana for a Sunscorch Regent, Big Dragon. So what does Sunscorch Regent do? It's simple, it's a 4/3 flyer, but whenever you guys cast a spell, I can put a +1/+1 counter on Sunscorch Dragon, and I gain 1 life for every single spell you guys cast.
Jesus.
Okay,
That is not good.
that is okay.
Neil says, okay, we're way too fast here.
I was going to cast spells.
There's not a lot I can do.
Okay. Then I do, however, want to trigger Tidus somehow. So what I will do is I will play Protection Magic. Protection Magic says I can put a shield counter on 3 target creatures. A shield counter says if the creature will be damaged or destroyed, the shield counter gets removed instead.
Oh,
So I will
okay.
put the shield counter on Tidus, on Lord Giscal, and on Sunscorch Regent.
But that's actually an instant. You can do that in instant speed.
It is an instant.
But you don't have to.
I don't have to. So, my next step. Emma, do you have flyers?
I do not.
Not. Niels, do you have flyers?
I have one. Also, doesn't that have summoning sickness?
No, it's not that one.
I have another flyer.
Oh,
Yes.
I have a Good King Monk the 12th.
As a 4/4 or a 5/5.
It's a 4/4 flying lifelink, so please.
Okay. And Bambi, you don't have a
I
flyer.
don't have any flyers, no.
Okay.
Flyers.
Then let's see.
It's not good for branding that I don't have
I
flyers.
will just move to combat and not trigger Tidus's first effect. However, I will attack with my flyer, Lord Giscal, to Emma.
I'll take the 2.
That's 2 damage coming in. So I'm really, very, very happy about that, because when one of my creature with counters deal damage, I get to draw a card from Tidus and also proliferate. So what I will do is I will just add another counter here.
That's really bad.
One more shield count. I mean, one more shield counter to all of my creatures that already have one. There we go. Is there anything else I want to proliferate? Niels, what do your saga things say?
My saga things say whenever I cast a non-creature spell this turn, create a token copy of a non-saga token you control.
All right. I will also proliferate on your saga.
Thank you very much, good sir.
Chat, it's not good. It's not looking good. There's multiple problems, and now one of them is not dying to board wipes. Uh-oh.
Then I would end my turn and trigger Lord Giscal to get a clue token. And that is my turn. Go ahead, Bombi.
Okay.
I am not touched by this.
Untap.
Okay.
Draw a card with the ooh.
Oh, with a ooh.
I like this. Cause, well, I don't like it now, but I could have used it. The thing is, I kind of want to play this card, but so 1 mountain, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4 Kate Sith Fortune Teller.
Ooh.
He has a lot on his card. So, lucky slots. At the beginning of combat on your turn, scry 1. Then exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. When you exile a card this way, target creature you control gets +X+0 until end of turn, where X is the card's mana value.
Can I interfere with a little did you know here? So the effect of exiling a card from the top of your deck and being able to play it until the end of your turn is quite a mouthful. However, there is one person at R&D known as Gavin Verhey who is using the term bottling for that. Just a simple word. Why? Because the very first card who had that templating is called Bottled Cloister, I think. That's where it comes from.
Okay, so I will bottle, I think, if I get into combat.
Yeah.
Yes?
But I thought exiling was putting the card not in your graveyard in another pile.
Yeah.
Fair.
So
That is true.
instead of doing that, I can play it.
Yes, only until the end of turn. That's what the card
Yes.
says.
Yeah, so it
But
goes not in your graveyard, different zone,
Uh-huh.
but functions as a separate hand.
Uh-huh.
It's still
that turn?
exile. It's not called your hand, but you can still play it for that turn.
And
Okay.
otherwise it stays
So you can bottle it.
in exile.
What a fun fact.
The more you know.
That's why I'm here.
You're also here because we love you, Tess.
Oh, thank you.
Don't lie.
Whoa. What's with all the hostilities here?
I will pay 2 extra mana to play Arcane Signet. So I have it back.
Okay.
I've seen that card before.
Me too. On my battlefield. Although very briefly.
And I think that is it for now.
So you would go to combat.
I will.
Bottle?
That
Bottle?
triggers. So I
You first
draw
scry
a
one.
card.
Isn't it scry first?
Yes.
So you
What
can-
is scry?
You look at the top card and you decide if it stays on the top or the bottom.
Oh. I think I can use it.
Okay, then it's best to keep it on the top because then the second thing goes and it says that you're allowed to play it
Yeah, I will.
You can bottle it.
for 2 mana.
So this.
But no, wait, you are still going to combat. So during your combat, if it's not an instant card or a card with flash, you cannot play it.
So
It is still there. So you
where do
still
I
need
bottle
to
my cards then?
just
here?
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's fine.
There's fine. Okay. I will attack.
Like
with-
another logical place was just to place it under your card that gave it the effect.
Oh, that is true. But we'll keep it there for now. So this has Summoning Sickness.
Correct.
I will attack with Yuffie. Think I will attack you, Niels.
I have a
'cause-
4/4.
Yes, you have a 4/4.
But he's bottling for extra power, right?
When you
It
exile
does
card.
give me a +2.
Plus 2.
Fair.
plus
Yeah, it gives
0?
a +2 +0, so it's a 5/3 right now.
Yes.
If you would attack with it.
Yes, but if I attack you, you do have lifelink on it.
Yep,
But I will attack you with
that
Yuffie.
is fair.
And that's about it for now. For this
I,
attack.
you know, that human that was so inspired by you, that soldier, is gonna block it.
Okay.
It will die.
Okay.
And a Bastion of Remembrance triggers, and you all lose a life, and I gain a life.
Boop.
Each opponent loses 1
Boop.
life.
Boop.
I can't
Oh.
attack him because you know
I mean, I don't say I disagree with you.
my combat ends,
Yes.
Yep.
and now I can do this.
In your second main, you can play that card.
Hey,
yes.
Dace, just
In response, I have been missing one of my effects.
I was just going to say, I think you've been
I
missing.
have a Sunscored Regent that triggers every time you guys play a spell.
Okay.
So on this one, I will trigger it, get a +1/+1 counter on it, and gain a life.
That is fair. That is completely fair.
I do pay these two.
I remembered like 2 minutes ago.
So my bottle card was Professor Hojo.
Yeah.
The first activated ability you activate during your turn that targets a creature you control costs 2 less to activate. Whenever one or more creatures you control become the target of an activated ability, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
So like equip.
Equipping a creature does exactly all those things.
Okay,
Is it my turn?
good. Yes, it is your turn.
I'm very excited for my turn since the last turn. I will draw a card, and some people in the chat have already said that I hold secrets, and this is true. My good King Mogul goes to chapter 3. Whenever I cast a non-creature spell, I may copy a non-saga token I control. I will play a Porta and reveal an island. And I will cast blue, 3 mana, 4, 5, another blue, 6, 7, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Okay.
This is feeling really bad. This is bad.
8. And since my non-creature spells cost 1 less, I would like to play Rite of Replication Kicked.
This is really bad.
What does Rite of Replication mean or say? It says created a copy of target creature. If the spell was kicked, I create 5 copies of this.
Excuse me.
So, first
Yes,
of all,
that card is a game changer.
it isn't. It isn't.
Is
but
it on the list?
it is not on that list.
Ayo.
Why is
No,
it?
it's not on the list, but it's an actual
So you can
factual
choose
game
other people's
changer.
cards.
Yes, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
I'm going to choose my good King Mughal the 12th.
I'm glad he missed the sun.
That means I will
Yeah.
make 5
I
copies of
would
this.
have gone for the dragon, but okay.
So on the stack, I will make another copy of a Moogle, because that's what the card says. And now I'm going to make 5 copies of this. Those 5 sagas will come into the battlefield with 1 lore counter on them. They all make 2
Moogles.
1/2s. So therefore, I make 10
Moogles.
Moogles.
How are we going to do this?
So these ones are the ones with, let's say these are the ones without summoning sickness. I have 2 without summoning sickness, and I have 1.
I got 7 Moogles for you.
I think counters is going to be a little bit easier to keep track of them.
Someone doesn't
I
like
disagree.
fun.
Use the cards.
I don't have enough, that's a problem. I have 11 Moogles with summoning sickness. I have 2 of them without summoning sickness. And all these have chapter 1. Maybe important to say, but on the last chapter, all my Moogles get 2 +1/+1 counters.
That is scary.
I would like to go to combat.
And also, if we somehow kill all his creatures, his Bastion of Remembrance
Will hurt us.
Does it trigger for every creature
Yeah.
dying?
Yes, it does.
And he heals. He just. Oh crap!
I would like to go to combat.
So
I
we
would
might
like,
have a-
with my Moogle,
We
that
might have
you
a
attack
Niels-sized issue on our hands.
I would like to
Another
attack
one.
You, for 4 in the air.
So Thijs,
In the air.
how's
Oh,
that
Air,
Skunscourt region going along?
Oh, pretty good. It's just chilling, seeing things,
Hey yo.
missing things. Thank
I
you
will say
for
next
reminding
to
me.
under it, I have 5 copies of this, and here I will put the saga counter on it. I think that was so this one attacked you. I think it was a very eventful turn. I would like to pass to you, Emma.
Well,
How do you
I
mean?
think-
You just cast 1 card this turn.
Oh yeah, you get a trigger.
I did. I missed it.
Fair.
I don't like this anymore. I want to leave. I thought this time I'm not going to be the first one who's going to be dead. Well,
So right now,
I guess wrong.
none of them have summoning sickness anymore. I have in total 30 Moogles.
Thijs, how are we gonna deal with that? I'm not just scared of like I'm scared of everything.
Yeah, you're correct. Can you deal with it?
a board wipe could deal with it,
Me
but
neither.
it doesn't deal with you.
But let's be honest, I'm not a problem right now, I think. Right now?
You
I
know,
can make an analogy, but I'm not going to. You're both a problem.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna do a setup turn.
Go for it.
Wait, let me be your microphone.
Yeah.
You're the
Let
stand
me be
from
your
now on.
microphone. Wonderful. For 3, I'll play Commander Sphere.
Okay.
That's a good one.
And then I'd like to go to combat.
Wait. I have a trigger from Sunscorch region.
Excellent. Remembered. Good job, Thijs. Finally. Sun Titan
What
is
did you do?
going at you, Thijs, because you can just lose a shield counter and not give any flies about
Yes,
that.
definitely.
And Terra is going at you, Bambi, and I will trigger her and mill 2. 1, 2. Not even Angel of Ruins does anything here. Then I
will-
will trigger Sun Titan and I
Yes.
will return
Block.
a permanent card.
She has flying. Never
Flying.
mind. 3, right?
Everything is not awesome. Oh, that's copyright. I'll return of the Sun Titan, the Talisman of Conviction. All right, and then y'all
These are the
can go
lower
to
counters.
blockers.
All right, I will just block with my
Titus,
my Sunscorch Regent, which
Oh.
is a 6/5.
would you mind not doing that? I don't. Okay, that's
Well-
a choice you can make.
Well, Bambi,
Hmm?
observe.
Yeah.
So Emma, what would you like me to do?
I would like you to block with Titus instead of Sunscorch region.
But then your creature would not die. Otherwise, I kill it.
That is true.
So what's in it for me?
We are currently not not enemies. There's a Moogle that is a problem.
Very correct.
Well-
So I will just block with Tidus then.
Ah, excellent.
So
that's
there's
that's how you
going
do politics.
One
No.
shield.
Counter removed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Counter removed.
I could also like kill Emma's creature, but now she owes me one.
She does.
But at that point, it was a different board state as well, I think.
Okay.
It's always a different board state.
That is fair.
And now for my for my second main phase, I think that Niels is actually a little bit degenerate. One would say that he would need an Archfiend of Depravity to hold him back. That also makes me a huge target for Niels, but hey, I have to do something.
What does it do?
It is a 5/4 flying. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures they control and sacrifices the rest.
The rests.
The rest.
The rest.
Jesus.
But on the end step.
Yes, on the end step. So not only do we have Moogle problem, but we also have Bastion problem. So this is just going to speed it up a bit. Thijs, also, I cast a Sting.
Oh, I have a trigger.
So this
I
triggers
consider
every
this-
time we play a card. because
I
every card
consider
is
this
spell.
a boon repaid.
Yeah.
That is true.
Go.
All right, and tap. Upkeep, draw. I will cast the card I've drawn for 1 mana.
Brainstorm.
It is a Soul Ring.
That is a good card.
Which you will use to cast that board wipe you've been sitting on.
So then I will tap my Soul Ring to sacrifice the clue,
Ultima.
and I've drawn.
Ultima would be very good here.
Yeah, but I still don't like an Ultima.
No, but Ultima would also end all the dead triggers. So no best.
Yes.
Bambi, can you hold my microphone?
I can.
That's what you ask
I'm
when you
having an
make.
existential crisis, but yeah,
That's-
I can hold your
That's how you
microphone.
know he's gonna make some
So
moves.
much easier to play like this. So I will pay 3 mana to play Yuna's Whistle. Yuna's Whistle says I reveal cards on the top of my library until I reveal a creature card. That creature card goes into my hand. Then that creature card's mana value gets added in the form of +1/+1 counters on one of my creatures.
That is very good.
So I will start revealing. Oh, the first one is a creature. It's Waka, Devoted Guardian. It has a mana value of 4.
Okay.
So I will put 4+1/+1 counters on something. I'm gonna die. Let's have a look. I will put it on Sunscorched Regions. So we will have now 7 counters in total.
Yes.
There we go.
Damn, that's a strong one.
What does Waka do? So Yuna's Whistle is
Waka, waka,
resolved.
waka.
I have enough mana to cast Waka. What does he do? He has Reach and Trample. Whenever he deals combat damage, I can destroy up to 1 artifact, and he gets a +1/+1 counter. And then at the beginning of my end step, if he receives the counter, there is a +1/+1 counter placed on each other creature I have. Okay.
Would have been very good if he was the one with the counters.
So I will just play him.
Yeah.
I will play Waka. Waka. Then what I will do is I will go to combat and trigger Tidus. Tidus will move a counter to something else. I will put a shield counter from Lord Jiskel and move it to Waka.
Waka.
Waka is getting a
Sorry.
+1 counter.
I'm sorry, I can't help to say waka. Waka, waka, waka.
Now, up into my attacks. Niels,
Yes.
do you have flyers?
5 of them.
Oh, they fly.
Yes.
They're all flying Moogles. Good
5.
King Moogle the 12th.
And the rest?
No, they don't fly. Just the
These
big
are
ones.
just lifeling Moogles.
Oh,
They're just waggling
okay.
on the ground.
You know what? I have an 11, 14, 11, no. I have an 11, 10 flyer. Bambi, do you have flyers?
No.
Time to get my sweet revenge.
That arcane
For
signet
that
comes
one
back.
card.
What did you say at the start? That commander grudges are taken very seriously?
Eternal
So
grudges.
I will attack with
Goodbye,
my
cruel world.
11.
And you're holding his microphone while he kills you.
But I don't think
Cruel.
I don't think he will.
Cruel.
He knows Nils is the problem. We need
So,
each other.
Bambi.
Never mind.
1, 2.
Also, it doesn't have flyers.
Very much guardians.
13 flying damage is coming your way.
Mine.
What?
I will throw this mic at your head next time. So I'm almost dead.
13 days.
I wanted to speed this game up a little bit.
13.
It's almost Nils' turn. It is going to get sped up.
That's sped up indeed. So This
I'm dead.
also triggers
Almost.
Tidus.
Yes.
So I get to draw a card and proliferate.
Oh, the board wipe I needed.
So another shield counter, another +1 counter, another shield counter, more shield counters.
Do shield counters protect from having to sacrifice things?
I don't think so.
I do not think so.
I do not think so.
I have no clue actually, but
I do have a clue, and I
I
think
will
that-
get a clue in my end step. So
you know what else happens in your end step, Tess? An art fiend of depravity.
yeah, I forgot about it.
So please sacrifice everything except two things.
Remind me, what does it do again?
At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses and up to 2 creatures they control. Then
Creatures
yeah.
control.
and then sacrifice the rest.
So I am
I cry.
still doing the end step stuff. So
Yeah.
I got my clue, and then Waka gives a +1/+1 counter on everything.
Mhm.
3, and then
Somebody
on Tidus.
I love how he's distributing his counters.
Yeah, this is it. No,
What?
I'm taking him. Yeah, I'm taking this one away because also in my end step I will sacrifice all the rest to to this,
Do we take damage
and
now,
I will
right?
keep these 2.
No, that's only in
That's
my
only,
end step.
that's only when Nils sacrifices things. So it's in our best interest to get rid of this thing before his end
How?
step. I don't know, by destroying it.
By destroying target non.
I get
land
to search lands from Rampant Rejuvenator.
Yeah.
But that's the end of my
nothing.
turn. I'll just get 3 lands.
It's also the end of our
Bobby,
life.
You can go.
Yeah. And
So dramatic.
I'm not dramatic. We are so dead to Nils. It's not even pretty.
Yours, yeah, it's mine.
Thanks,
I'm
Balesar.
throwing my cards around. I will draw.
It's also it's in team. That's
And it's
also
not anything good.
the
Hi,
best.
Dekasaka. No, we're actually just here in the Fanfinity offices playing Commander.
Oh yeah, but
It's-
he just asked, is that with the cartons?
Ah,
So
with
yes,
the
we are
I
playing with the cartons.
yes, we are playing with the cards.
I have nothing good, literally nothing.
Come on, Bambi.
There must be something interesting in your hands.
Yeah, but things that were useful in the beginning, but not now.
And you can still cast them now.
Just don't cast creatures,
I'll
because they'll
use
die.
Soul Ring to cast Mask of Memory. Whenever equipped, a creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw 2 cards. If you do, discard a card.
That's good.
I will attach it with planes to. Wait.
You can do it for free.
You can do it for free
Yeah,
and
because
draw
it's
cards.
too
It's
cheaper.
Get, discounted by 2. So it's -1. You get a man.
That's not how it
Do I
works.
get about?
No.
No, that's not how it works.
First of all, you need to say target.
What?
Who are you equipping?
Who are you equipping?
I was going to equip this to.
Yeah,
Cloud?
that works.
I mean, I think Cloud is the best creature to equip all your equipments to.
What does this even do? Oh. Crap.
Beware your language, good sir.
That is
No,
that is
that's
okay
fine.
language, I think. No, this is not good.
Don't forget that you have a bottle effect.
Yeah, I do have a bottle effect, but I kind of want to still try and play some other things.
Sure.
Please, go ahead.
Meanwhile-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only need 5, so I will tap. Wait, yeah, I will tap these to play Bronze Guardian.
What does that do?
That does double strike, so that's nice. And Ward 2, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter it unless that player pays 2. Other artifacts you control have 2 ward, and this creature's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So I control a 1, 2, 3 artifacts right now, so that is +3. Well, that's just 3, 5. I will.
Wait, I'm just doing some math.
Okay.
Just to check out if we're dead, if Niels both pumps his Moogles, swings it at us,
I do have a question for this.
and then has to sacrifice.
And how is the math counting up?
Dead.
Poorly for us.
Yeah, true.
So
But I have
okay.
a question about my Bronze Guardian.
Tell
It
me.
says this creature's power is equal to the number of artifacts you control.
Yes.
This is an artifact creature.
yes.
Does it count?
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
that means 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 5.
Yes.
Double strike.
Yeah, but it has summoning sickness, and you are going to kill me next turn. So
I can agree with this.
I do have 2 mana. So
Maybe
I
you can bottle something
can
interesting.
bottle.
But first you need to declare attackers.
I do first need to declare attackers.
No, at the beginning of his combat,
Ah,
he doesn't need
okay.
to.
Yeah.
First,
Okay.
you bottle.
Okay. So
Apologies.
I scry 1.
Do you want it on top or the bottom?
Where's the deck with the blasphemous acts?
So if I put it on the bottom, do I get
Not.
the next card?
Yes.
Or
That's red, right?
Mm-hmm. I might
Wait,
have some.
so top card of your library.
There has to be a Final Fantasy game
Okay,
where
so I
some
will
form
put
of
it on
blasphemous
bottom.
acts occurred.
And then I
The one
take
with K,
the-
the treacherous dragoon.
the top card. So I
Mhm.
scried 1,
Yep.
put it on the bottom, and I take the top card. That is
You
better.
reveal it.
And it's bottled.
Barrett, so I will put it on
Barrett
this one.
Wells.
Barrett Wallace.
What does that do?
He has reach, and whenever Barrett Wallace attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. That's good and all, but I can't cast him because I only have 2 mana. But I do have 4
+4.
+4 to put on anything that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably put it on Cloud, so he has 8 + 4,
Mhm.
8, 4, and I will attack with Cloud, attack with Cave Sith, and Yuffie, and Professor Hojo to you, because I'm probably dead. So that makes him a 8, 4.
Yep. So
Draw a card for each equipped attacking
You make 2
creature you
treasures as well.
control. And I get 2 treasure tokens.
So everything is coming my way, right?
Yes.
And what
everything.
gets the bottled?
Cloud.
That was Cloud.
Cloud.
Yes.
I will put a Moogle in front of Cloud,
Mhm.
and my 3 other Moogle kings will block the rest of your stuff.
Okay. So that is exiled. We'll put it.
By that, I gain 13 life.
Yep, I know. It was an attempt on doing something.
You did something. You also lose a life
Yes, I do lose.
because
a
of the Bastion of
life.
Remembrance.
And that is it.
Bambi, you can sacrifice all but 2 creatures, please.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
Everyone tends to forget about it.
Yeah.
It's like Thijs and his son Scorch Regent.
I would like thank you, Tess, for speeding my saga up.
You're very welcome. It was my plan to speed up the game.
All my Moogles have 2 +1/+1 counters. So I
All 13 of them.
these ones as well. They're Moogles as well.
The saga too. Okay. All 14 of them.
All
No.
no, they have
17.
5.
So all
Enough.
17 of them.
Bambi, since Moogle King died, you lose
Everybody
a life,
loses a life.
and you will be the first one to exit the
It says ran out of gas.
run out of gas.
We will
Don't
follow.
worry, you will
You
follow
stay at the
pretty
table.
We will
it's
follow along
fine.
soon.
Bambi, it's fine. Stick around.
Tess, I will attack you with all my Moogles. Emma, I will attack you with all my Moogle Kings.
All right. They fly. I do not block.
No, these are lifelink, but they're not flying.
Oh, I will block one with Tidus.
That is fair.
I will block a king with the Archfiend.
So you get
11 times
11 times 3,
Okay, I will take 33 damage.
and you take
4.
I attack all the Mughals.
Yeah, that's
over
5
there.
Mughal kings.
5
Skilled
Mughal
player.
kings.
And I block
No.
one of them.
So that is 4, 6, 6.
I am also dead.
I have no idea what a Mughal sounds like, but I think it has to. Do
That
something
was,
like that.
Was hard.
yeah,
God damn.
there was nothing I could do to stop that.
Wow.
Good game, good game.
Yeah.
Good game indeed.
That was fast.
I don't like losing.
But
really fast.
also, it was good that you ended me, because I had the Rise of the Dark Realms next turn to
Yes.
return all creatures from graveyards under my control. Everywhere.
Damn.
That would have been a big play, but
So I will keep these as this
Nils
aside
just ended
this
us.
card
I
comes
just
out.
ended you. One
Thank
board
you.
wipe wasn't enough.
thank you all for sticking around. We had a lot of fun playing these cards. We had a lot of fun with our creators, playing our Final Fantasy new decks. This has been a blast. This has been a great and incredibly fun community stream for us. We hope you had a great time as well. Thank you again to our partners, Wizards of the Coast, for sending us these decks. And we'll see you next time on the next community stream.
Bye.
Bye.